Are you ready for the weekend?
Weekends on UME-Radio. Get the UME-Radio app.
Weekends on UME-Radio. The sun is up and so are we. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, all at UME-Radio.
UME-Radio. Positive entertainment 24/7. Subscribe on YouTube and click the notification bell.
Welcome to Entertainment Now on UME-Radio, WUME-DB New York. This show takes you beyond the music, dance, box office and thrills. For deeper and more meaningful insights into the minds and hearts of the players. We share stories about pop culture, celebrities, and everything entertainment, but with education and empowerment in mind. It's all about positive entertainment. Here is today's hot topic. Kevin Samuels reportedly passed away at the age of 53 years old. According to the late Nelson Mandela, what counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life. YouTuber Kevin Samuels reportedly passed away at the age of 53 years old. According to the late Nelson Mandela, what counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead. Today we want to send condolences to Mr. Samuels' family. We are so sorry for your loss. YouTuber Kevin Samuels reportedly passed away at the age of 53 years old.
Spotlighting 50 black actors who will be featured in our history books. 50 black actors who paved the way for future generations to continue the legacy. Each actor has achieved a different milestone in different genres, waves, and decades of film and TV. And we agree. This list of actors who made entertainment history is compiled through news articles and profiles and represents actors of all genders and various countries of origin. Cicely Tyson is an entertainment icon, a living legend, with a career spanning more than 6 decades. She was the first black person to star in a primetime drama in the 60s. Tyson has made history numerous times with her acting performances and her ability to break records and pave the way for black women in entertainment. In 2018, she became the first black actress to receive an honorary Academy Award and was inducted into the Television Academy Hall of Fame in 2020. Hattie Mcdaniel showed true strength and hope as a black woman in Hollywood in the 1940s. Because of her color, Mcdaniel was forced to sit in the back room inside the Academy Awards segregated venue when she became the first black person to win an Oscar for the film Gone with the Wind. She was not allowed to attend the film's premiere and was often criticized for her portrayal of the racist stereotype, the mammy. Still, she paved the way for black representation in the film industry. Angela Bassett is another notable name in Black Hollywood. Well known for her role portraying Tina Turner in the emotional classic, What's Love Got to Do with It? Since then, she's appeared and starred in countless films representing black culture, such as Waiting to Exhale and Black Panther. Bassett has also portrayed some of the most iconic women in history, including Rosa Parks, Katherine Jackson, Coretta Scott King, and Betty Shabazz. Spike Lee has made his fair share of marks in the film industry as a writer, director, producer, and actor. He made his directorial debut with She's Gotta Have It in 1986, but in 1989, Do the Right Thing placed Lee on the map as a notable filmmaker and actor internationally. Since then, he's gone on to make numerous films that tell the story of black livelihood in America, including Malcolm X, For Little Girls, and Black Klansman, which won an Academy Award for Best Adapted Screenplay in 2019. One of the most prominent names to have paved the way for all black actors in Hollywood, Sidney Poitier, has been continually honored for his endeavors throughout his career as an actor, director, and author. Known as the godfather to Black Hollywood, Poitier broke barriers. In the United States, and became the first black actor to win an Academy Award for Best Actor in Lilies of the Field in 1964. Chadwick Boseman did a lot for Black history with his dynamic portrayals of African American figures throughout his tragically short acting career. He has portrayed historical figures such as Jackie Robinson in 42, James Brown in Get Up, and Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall in Marshall. Boseman became a household name when he starred as the Black Panther in the film Black Panther, which became the 9th highest grossing film of all time at $1.3 billion. The second black man to win a Best Actor Academy Award for his performance in Training Day in 2001, Denzel Washington has made his mark in entertainment history and broke barriers with his powerful performances. He has been described as an actor who reconfigured the concept of classic movie stardom by film historian Donald Bogle. Some of his most notable films include Glory, Remember the Titans, Philadelphia, Malcolm X, He Got Game, and Fences, which he directed. Ethel Waters began her career in the 1920s, singing the blues in the midst of the Great Migration. She became the first black woman to integrate into Broadway, and was well known to play by her own rules. Waters was the first black person to star in her own television series, The Ethel Waters Show on NBC in 1939, and the first to be nominated for a Primetime Emmy in 1962 for her appearance on Route 66. Before she was an opinionated moderator on The View, Whoopi Goldberg established herself as an all-around award winner, joining the small group of EGOT winners, or people who have won an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony Award. Goldberg won a Best Actress Golden Globe in 1985 for The Color Purple, a Grammy Award for Best Comedy Album in 1986, a Best Supporting Actress Oscar for Ghost in 1990, and a Tony Award for her work as producer of the 2002 production of Thoroughly Modern Millie on Broadway. In 2002, Halle Berry became the first black woman to win an Oscar for Best Actress for her work in Monsters Ball. To this day, Berry remains the first and only black actress to take home an Oscar in the leading category. The leading lady of Catwoman claimed the win is one of her biggest heartbreaks, as no other black woman has ever won this honor. Early in his career, Eddie Murphy won national attention as a member of television's Saturday Night Live cast. In addition to his majorly successful stand-up comedic career, he made cult classics such as Coming to America and Beverly Hills Cop, which was the highest-grossing film released in 1984. The famous comedian has had a thriving acting career, starring in such films as The Nutty Professor, Dr. Dolittle, the voice of Donkey in Shrek, and Dream Girls. With a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, a Tony Award, and 3 Emmys, Debbie Allen is one of the most influential names in the entertainment industry. Well known for her dance choreography and director roles, Allen is also a talented actress, starring in television shows In the House and Grey's Anatomy. In 2001, she opened her dance studio, the Debbie Allen Dance Academy, in Los Angeles. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a third-generation wrestler and headliner of WrestleMania 28, the most successful pay-per-view event ever for the WWE, shifted to acting in 2004 and became one of the highest-grossing actors of all time, earning more than $10 billion worldwide. Johnson slowly integrated himself into the film industry as a career switch and became one of the most recognizable faces to hit the big screen in films such as The Game Plan, The Fast and Furious, and Jumanji franchises. Born in London, Daniel Kaluya has had a breakout couple of years on the big screen. In 2017, Kaluya starred in Get Out, a film critically praised worldwide. He earned a nomination for an Academy Award, Golden Globe Award, Screen Actors Guild Award, and a British Academy of Film and Television Arts Award for Best Actor. He also appears in Black Panther, Widows, and Queen and Slim. Gail Fisher got her start and climbed her way up the entertainment headlines as Peggy Fair on Mannix, a television show in the 70s. Fisher won 2 Golden Globe Awards and an Emmy Award, and this made her the first black actress to win either award in the supporting category. She was also the first black actress to appear on a television commercial with a speaking role. Tyler Perry has a true and inspiring rags-to-riches story that put him in billionaire status. In the 1990s, Perry birthed Medea, which has become one of his most well-known and fan-favorite characters to date, for her sassy attitude and her representation of the protective, black grandmother figure really Perry in drag apparel. After producing stage plays with the character, he went on to produce and star in many feature-length films and television shows. He created an entertainment studio that various production companies use in Atlanta. Mother to actor and musician Lenny Kravitz, Roxy Roker became a household name as Helen Willis on the popular sitcom The Jeffersons, where she made television history by becoming one half of the first interracial couples to appear on primetime television. After this, she went on to act in other projects and garnered a Tony Award nomination. Laverne Cox made television history in 2014 when she became the first openly transgender person to be nominated for a Primetime Emmy Award in any acting category for her role on Netflix's Orange is the New Black. An activist and outspoken advocate for transgender rights, especially in the entertainment industry, Cox was the first transgender person to be featured on the cover of Time magazine. The first black woman to own her own production company, Harpo Productions, to be nominated for an Oscar for her first movie, and to be television's highest-paid entertainer, Oprah Winfrey is a hugely influential household name. Once a local journalist, she transformed herself into one of the biggest talk show hosts of her time, reaching 15 million people a day. She's also acted in several films, most notably as Sophia in The Color Purple. Funny and on point, Monique brings out the laughs from the stage to the audience every time. In 2009, Monique garnered critical praise for her role as Mary Lee Johnston in the film Precious, for which she won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. The role also won her the Sundance Film Festival Special Jury Prize and the African American Film Critics Association (AAFCA) Best Supporting Actress Award, with first ever unanimous vote in an acting category. Time magazine ranked Monique's outstanding performance as the best female performance of 2009. Monique was not a part of Stacker.com's list, but there was no way we could exclude her based on her achievements. Lupita Nyong'o's skills caught the eyes of director Steve McQueen, who cast her in the film 12 Years a Slave, just weeks before she graduated from Yale School of Drama. For her performance in this role, she won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress in 2014. Since then, she's made her mark in both the Star Wars franchise and the Marvel Cinematic Universe in Black Panther. Before becoming the funny man on the big screen, Kevin Hart began his career as a stand-up comedian, often performing small shows. After placing his shows on film, Hart soon made his way into Hollywood. In 2015, he became the first comedian to headline and sell out an NFL football stadium for a stand-up comedy show, making history. Since then, he has become popular on big and small screens with movies, hosting gigs, and other projects. Harry Belafonte was the first black person in entertainment history to win an Emmy Award in 1960. 6 years earlier, the actor, singer, and activist also became the first black man to win a Tony Award. Belafonte also made a breakthrough in music outside of his acting career, introducing Trinidadian, Caribbean music to a more mainstream audience. Felicia Rashad first gained notoriety for playing Claire Huxtable on The Cosby Show, which garnered her 2 Emmy nominations. Later in her career, she became the first black woman to win a Best Actress Tony Award for her performance in the play A Raisin in the Sun. She broke barriers portraying a black woman on primetime television, who was a lawyer. A man of many talents, Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, is not only an actor, but a musical artist, who won Grammys in the categories for Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Best Rap/Sung Performance, and Best Music Video for his hip-hop song, This Is America. The singer, actor, comedian, and writer is mostly known in Hollywood for his character in the show, Atlanta, which he also created. Anika Noni Rose is known for voicing Princess Tiana, Disney's first black animated princess, in The Princess and the Frog, which came out in 2009. Her film career includes the role of Laurel Robinson in Dreamgirls. She won a Tony Award for Best Featured Actress in a musical for Caroline or Change, and was nominated for a Tony Award for her appearance in a revival of A Raisin in the Sun. This actress has put her audience in awe of her performances on Broadway, but furthermore, she has won 6 Tony Awards, which is more than any other actor, and is the only person to win in all 4 acting categories. Audra McDonald also has extensive television experience, as well as film appearances. In 2016, McDonald was awarded the National Medal of Arts by President Barack Obama for her achievements. Kiki Palmer has been gracing the big and small screens since she was 11. She made history as the first black woman to host the Video Music Awards. During her run on Nickelodeon's True Jackson, VP, she was the 4th highest paid child star on television, and she was the first black woman to play Cinderella on Broadway. Vanessa Williams was credited early in her career as the first black woman to be crowned Miss America in 1984. Following the revelation of questionable events, however, Williams was stripped of her crown. Nonetheless, Williams went on to have a thriving acting career and received multiple Grammy and Emmy nominations for her work. Cuevengenie Wallace is best known for her 2014 adaptation of the titular character in Annie. She was the first black actor to portray the character in a feature-length film. She is also the youngest actress ever to be nominated for a Best Actress Oscar. She has since published several children's books. The year 2017 was a groundbreaking year for Jordan Peele as the director of the critically praised film Get Out. He became the first black screenwriter to win the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay in 2018. Not only this, but Peele's film will go down in history as one of the greatest thrillers to star a black character and center around a black theme. The 72nd Emmy Awards was the first ever to be held virtually due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But what made the night even more historic was Zendaya's win for her role as Rue on HBO's Euphoria. She became the youngest person to win Best Lead Actress in a drama. At 24 years old, Zendaya won against Sandra Oh, Jennifer Aniston, Olivia Colman, and Laura Linney. A civil rights activist and Broadway star, Ossie Davis is well known for his Broadway performances and outspoken politics for the black community. Davis hit his break playing a role in Broadway's A Raisin in the Sun and was inducted into the Theatre Hall of Fame in 1994. He is also well known for raising money in the 60s for the Freedom Writers' cause. The 90s was a pivotal period in Wesley Snipes' career. With films like New Jack City, White Men Can't Jump, and Passenger 57 under his belt, he was one of the most discussed upcoming artists during this time. The legacy he created for black actors and filmmakers still has impact today. Richard Pryor is credited for bringing a new storytelling style of comedy to the stage and is a major influence on comedians today. Pryor won an Emmy Award in 1973 and 5 Grammy Awards in the following years for his performance on stage and in his concert movies. In the 1980 film Stir Crazy, directed by Sidney Poitier, Pryor stars as one half of a comedic duo with Gene Wilder, who worked with Pryor on many projects, including Blazing Saddles. In 1968, Diahann Carroll made television history as the first black actress to star in the primetime TV series Julia, portraying a black woman in a non-stereotypical way, not the usual domestic worker. Popular shows like Dynasty, The Hollywood Palace, and The Love Boat all made Carroll a household name throughout the 70s. In 1974, she received an Oscar Best Actress nomination for her work in Claudine, a film she appeared in with James Earl Jones. Born and raised on the south side of Chicago, Bernie Mac rose to fame as a stand-up comedian and became one of his generation's most well-known actors. He joined his fellow comedians in the comedy film, The Original Kings of Comedy, starring himself, Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, and D.L. Hughley. He was the star of his own show, The Bernie Mac Show, which gained him 2 Emmy nominations. In 2017, Viola Davis became the first black actress ever to win Oscar, Emmy, and Tony Awards for her roles in the drama category. Her supporting role in Doubt, alongside Meryl Streep, proved she was a talent that could stand with some of the greatest names in Hollywood. For this, she received an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress. After rising to fame in the 80s as a member of the rap group NWA, Ice Cube was introduced to film after being cast for Boys in the Hood, a film famously quoted and praised for its visual representation of black livelihood in but not limited to South Central Los Angeles. He went on to appear in other films, including Friday, which he co-wrote, The Players Club, which he directed, and was the executive producer of Straight Outta Compton. John Witherspoon had a 40-year career in movies and television, and he's most remembered for his role in Friday as the character played by Ice Cube's father. He's had many roles in movies such as Boomerang and television series such as The Wayans Brothers and The Boondocks. During these now famous roles, Witherspoon became a notable figure to the black community and a father-like role model. Dorothy Dandridge was the first black person to be nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress in Carmen Jones in 1954, and a Golden Globe in 1959 for Best Actress in Porgy and Bess. As a young black singer and actress in the 30s, she often felt the impact of prejudices toward her skin color and faced segregation and racism. She was allowed to sing on stage, but not permitted to eat or socialize in the clubs where she performed. Dave Chappelle is critically praised for his significant impact on black culture and comedy. He made a mark in the entertainment industry, starring as himself in his own show, Chappelle's Show, in the early 2000s. He has also had his fair share in feature films, such as The Nutty Professor and Undercover Brother. Will Smith started as rapper The Fresh Prince in 1985, starred in his own television show, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and has appeared in blockbuster films for the past 25 years. The most bankable star worldwide, according to Forbes, Smith is the only actor to have 8 consecutive films gross over $100 million at the box office. He received Oscar nominations for Best Actor for his role as Muhammad Ali in 2001, and as a stockbroker in The Pursuit of Happiness in 2006. Chiwetel Ejiofor has received numerous awards for his works in acting, and many people know him as the lead character, Solomon Northup, in 12 Years a Slave. His breakthrough came when Ejiofor, who was 19 at the time, caught the attention of Steven Spielberg, who added him to the cast of Amistad. Kerry Washington portrayed the character Olivia Pope in the hit primetime show Scandal, and became the first black woman to headline a network TV drama since 1974. She is one of the highest-paid television actresses, with a number of major roles under her belt in films such as Ray, Django Unchained, and American Son. Lena Horne was a singer, actress, civil rights activist, and one of the top black performers of her time. She often refused roles that portrayed racial stereotypes to better black representation in Hollywood. Horne appeared on Broadway in more than 300 performances of her show Lena Horne, The Lady and Her Music, among her many accomplishments during a 70-year career. A popular actress in the 70s, Gloria Hendry gained popularity being one of the first black Bond girls after showcasing her on-screen romance to James Bond in Live and Let Die. When the film debuted in South Africa, many of her love scenes were cut from the film due to the apartheid government. Pearl Bailey was an extraordinary black entertainer who learned to sing in church and left high school to hone her entertainment skills in small-town theaters with the big bands. She recorded albums with Count Basie and appeared in nightclubs with Cab Calloway and his band. In 1946, she debuted in a Broadway musical, and in 1947, her first film. In 1967, Bailey was back on Broadway for her Tony Award-winning portrayal of Dolly Levi in an all-black production of Hello, Dolly. In 1971, she hosted The Pearl Bailey Show on television. Lena Waithe is a woman of many talents. As a writer, she created the dramas The Chai, Boomerang, and 20s for Showtime. She appears in Netflix's Master of None and became the first black woman to win an Emmy Award for Outstanding Writing for a Comedy Series for its episode Thanksgiving. Waithe has showcased her writing, acting, and production talents for some of television's most popular shows. John Legend is widely known for his vocal and piano skills in his musical career, but what many don't know is, he was the first black man and second black person to reach EGOT status, winner of Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony Awards. Movies like Glory and theatrical productions like Jitney, aside from his music, made him a name to be reckoned with in the entertainment industry.
I see me through God's eyes. Affirmation. I am a masterpiece. I am whole. I am capable. I am smart. I am purpose-driven. I am loving. I am wealthy. I am kind. I am honest. I am chosen by God for an appointed time and purpose. I am a child of the universe. I have the mind of God. I am worthy. I am valued. I am protected. I am me, not greater or lesser than any. I am called to serve. I am divine. I am someone who matters. I am a force, a positive force. I am God-made and God-designed. For more from
I see me through God's eyes. Affirmation. I am a masterpiece. I am whole. I am capable. I am smart. I am purpose-driven. I am loving. I am wealthy. I am kind. I am honest. I am chosen by God for an appointed time and purpose. I am a child of the universe. I have the mind of God. I am worthy. I am valued. I am protected. I am me, not greater or lesser than any. I am called to serve. I am divine. I am someone who matters. I am a force, a positive force. I am God-made and God-designed.
For more from Coach Wrights, visit walkingindivinepurpose.com. Thank you for listening.
Are you ready for the weekend?
Weekends on UME Radio. Get the UME Radio app.
Weekends on UMERADIO. The sun is up and so are we. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, all at UMERADIO.
UME Radio. Positive entertainment 24/7. Subscribe on YouTube and click the notification bell.
Get around, children. Get around. This is Sister Georgie coming to you from Mississippi by way of Jamaica, West Indies. How y'all doing today? Oh my God. Isn't God good all the time? Let me fix my hair. Oh, Jesus. Wow. I'm feeling good in my spirit, y'all. How y'all doing today? Yes, this is the Georgie reading Bible stories to children.
Hey kids! Listen closely to the story. Then join the Excel Kids game and play totally free, or ask your parents to register you as a member to play to win exciting rewards. For kids only. Saturdays at 8 a.m. and Sundays at 9:30 a.m. on Carib Vision.
Hey, good morning, children. How y'all doing today? Oh my goodness. It's just a wonderful thing to be here one more time to celebrate with you and to talk about the Lord. He is good. Y'all notice my kitty cat here. Of course, you know, he likes to hang out with me anywhere I am. He likes to be there. So he got his back turned. This is Ray Ray over here. Ray Ray, say hi. Okay, he's just relaxing right there, you know, but I'm glad to be here on today. Oh my goodness, it's over here in Mount Vernon, New York. It is sunny. It was raining a little bit yesterday and this morning, but it got a little better. Thank you, Jesus. Because, you know, this is Mother's Day weekend. And you know what they say about May? They say May is not only Mother's Day, Mother's Month, but it also Children's Month. Oh my goodness, that is such a wonderful thing. Oh my Lord, they got a month for children. Don't you feel good about that? Feel excited? I never knew they had one, but thank God they bring something up because, you know, children, y'all just some special people. Y'all don't realize how special y'all are. Y'all are a heritage of the Lord. Y'all don't understand how powerful you are. You know, God just made you. You all are gifts. And thank God for you children. And I pray that today when I read the Bible story, and we're going to read about Jacob's dream, and after we read the story, we are going to play the game. Hey, this is May 7th. We said we're going to play the game. I hope everybody registered for the game so you can win some prizes. Okay, we want to give away lots of prizes. I know you like to shop at Amazon. We give you some Amazon gift cards, something, you know, so you can spend your little card on something. So I hope everybody registered for the Excel game. Okay, so we're going to go right into our story, and we just, you know, hope you enjoy the story. And I want you every time we come, listen to Sister Georgie. She gives the Bible passages where the game is going to come from. Even though I read the story, but then it also comes from the entire chapter. So this game is going to come from Genesis 27 to 28. Let me just give it to you for next week. In Jacob's family in Genesis 29 to 31. Okay, so let's get into the story. Let's do some recap because it's been a while. So I'm gonna do some recap before we get into today's story. Okay, and we're in the book of Genesis. Okay, Genesis is a very long chapter, you know, a long book, but it's okay because he's be learning about the beginning and how God came into being. Okay, the world was void. Okay, and it was empty. Some people can't understand where God come from, but guess what? There gonna be some questions we're not gonna get no answers to. Okay, so we just got to accept it for what it is and keep moving in it, because then you wonder why you came here. Then you wonder to yourself, how can a baby be formed in a womb of a woman? I mean, come on, that has to be something. Man can't do that. You know, so it got to come from somewhere, you know, so, you know, we got to believe, and he said the world was void. So he took time, and he took 6 days to put everything in the world. And then he made man, Adam and Eve. They were the first ones that came forth. He formed them. He made man from the dust of the earth. And then Eve, he took her from his rib. He put him to sleep and took her from the rib and made her so he could have a helpmate. So, you women, we are helpmates to our husbands. Okay, that's what God made us. So he gave us that balance. We're supposed to bring that balance to a marriage, to a marital relationship. Yes. And we're supposed to produce children, have beautiful children. Yes, if you so desire. Come on now. So on the 7th day, he rested. Yeah, God had to take a rest. He couldn't keep doing that. God is a spirit. Yes. And he got tired. So that tells you right there. So when we work a lot, we get tired too. So we need to rest. Okay. God rested, and he's a spirit. So why are we not resting? Okay. So God told Adam and Eve, he built this beautiful garden. He put them in the garden, and they were just supposed to oversee the garden and take care of all the animals, everything that was there, every creeping thing, whatever it is in the garden. And he told them, don't eat of one particular tree. Don't touch that tree. Okay. But then, somehow curiosity got Miss Eve. There was a little serpent, a little snake sitting nearby, and he kind of whispered to Miss Eve that, you know what? When you take that tree, you ain't going to die. Okay. Your eyes just going to be open. Okay. So she like, oh, wow. It seemed like the tree is good. So what was God talking about? Okay. Now they ain't thinking about listening to God. There's a reason why God said, don't touch that tree. He didn't want to know all the other stuff. He'd want to keep them just pure, just the way they are. So we ain't got all this confusion now. Okay. So then she listened to that little snake, and that snake encouraged her, to take that fruit from the tree. We don't know. They say it's an apple, but we don't know what it was. It just said a fruit in the Bible. If you look at the book of Genesis chapter 1, and chapter 2 and chapter 3, it says a fruit. So we don't know what kind of fruit it is. Man assumes it's an apple because apples are good, but they said the apple a day keeps the doctor away. So, they just assume that's what it is, but we don't know. We don't know what it is. Anyway, but she took the fruit. She disobeyed God. Sometimes you children, you disobey your parents. Your parents tell you don't do something. Don't go over there. Don't touch the stove. Don't hit your brother. Don't hit your sister. You're going to do it anyway. Okay. And then you get yourself in trouble. So guess what? They got them. Then after Eve ate the fruit she thought was good, and she gave it to her husband, of course. He wasn't there at the time. He left her open. She wasn't covered at the time. So he had her talking to some other man. I call the snake another man. Okay. And where was he? He should have been covering her, and then she said, oh, honey, this food tastes good. This fruit tastes good. So try it. And of course he tried. Of course his eyes were open too. So they both of their eyes was open. Okay. And then God, now, because God communed with them during the daytime. He'd be hanging out with them and stuff like that, so he was having a good time. So he walking through, and then he didn't hear, for some reason, he didn't hear them at all, so then, he said, where y'all at? And then when he realized they was hiding. So then he said to them, why you hiding? Talking about they were naked, and God said, how you know that? Okay, did you take the fruit of the tree that I told you not to eat from? Oh, come on. All right. Now, oh my goodness. That was very sad. But let me stop for a minute. We forgot to pray. Oh my Lord. Sequence is kind of off today, but forgive Sister Georgie. Let me stop for a minute. Let me say the Our Father prayer. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. So let me continue. Oh, praise God. So God covering the segment. Praise the name of Jesus. Remember, I'll tell you about learning the Our Father prayer, Matthew 6:9-13. That's a very great prayer. Okay, so I keep saying it over and over again because I want you to learn it. Okay, let's continue. All right, so then God was upset with Adam and Eve for taking the fruit which he told them not to take. See, God don't like disobedience. God don't like when people don't, just like your parents don't like when you don't listen. God don't like when his people don't listen. Okay, hard-headed. They got something to say in Jamaica that your ears odd. Okay, you don't listen. Sometimes they tag on your ear. Okay, you don't listen. Okay, and they did not listen. This is what happens. And after a while, he said, okay, now since you're going to do all of that, now I'm going to put you out of the garden. So he did. Put him out, and he put a burning sword across the front, and angels to not let nobody go up, and they can't go back in there again. They were put out of the garden. That's their punishment. You ain't gonna come there. You're not gonna come back and get all the beautiful things that was going on in this garden. You're not gonna experience all the wonderful things that was happening. Okay, because you don't disobey me. Disobedience is what God don't like. He don't like when people disobey him. No. He likes when you listen to him and follow through. Just like your mama and daddy love when you follow what they tell you. And even when you in school, your teacher tell you do something and do it right. Okay, teachers let you get rewarded. Yes, I was a teacher, so when kids do good things, or they get rewarded when they do things that they follow the rules, because I make the kids make up the rules now. So when they break the rules, that's their rules. So then they get punishment. They have their own consequences when they break the rules. So they understood. So they had to follow through with what they said. Yes, I put it in their corner. They can't be blaming Ms. Walters. That was my other name, my school name, and I tell you, they had to learn some valuable lessons, and they did learn some lessons. Okay. So then Adam and Eve, after he took him out of the garden, then they had two children, two boys, and one named Cain, and one was Abel. And Cain, he was a worker of the ground, and Abel, he took care of the sheep. And guess what? Cain was a little angry little dude. And he just was in such a rage, and he was jealous of his brother, Abel. So he took his life. What a mean young man. And, because he did that, God punished him for doing that. He became a fugitive. That means he running all over the place. And, when you're a fugitive, that means you're running from the law. So then anybody catch you, then they could bring you back and get some money. Okay, so then God, he said to God, Lord, my punishment is so great. Anybody can see me. I'm just fair game here. So God said, okay, all right, I'm going to take that bounty off of your head, and I'm going to let nobody can touch you. So God protected him. So God can do that if he desires, because he's God, So after Eve, she lost her son, one of her sons. So God gave her another one. His name was Seth. And then Seth had a son. He grew up and had a son named Enosh. And after his son was born, everybody began to call on the Lord Jesus. They kept calling God and just lifted him up, started worshiping him, just being such good people and just loving on the Lord. And I don't know what happened. After a while, they just started to wander away from God, much as what's happening today. Okay, people just start wandering away from God. And God was quite angry that he made man. Can you imagine that? God got angry. Wow. Okay, but one person out of all them people that was acting a fool, named Noah. God told him to build an ark, build this huge boat. It took up many blocks. Okay, if you think about it today. And he took him almost 100 years to build it. And he was like 600 years old when he made that ark. Can you imagine that? He told him to bring all the animals, everybody in the ark, 2 by 2, male and female, bring his family, and anybody else who want to join in. While he was making the ark, then people was partying and carrying on and laughing at him because he making the ark, thinking what he doing was don't make sense, but he was being obedient, and he obeyed God, and he built the ark, and then the rain came and destroyed the entire earth. So only Noah and the animals that was in the ark were saved, so everybody died. Okay, and it was there 40 days and 40 nights till the bird came and found dry land, and they came out of the boat. Okay, and they left the ark that God made the promise with the symbol of the rainbow that he will not destroy the earth again with water. Okay, after the flood, people came again, and everybody talking the same language, and they tried to decide to build a high tower up to heaven. Now, God, they want to show off them skills, So guess what? God confused their language and called the Tower of Babel because everybody started talking gibberish. Then they couldn't understand each other. Some were talking Spanish, Creole, Chinese, Patois, yes, all kind of different language, Yiddish. They were talking all the different languages. Yes, so then after that, God calls Abraham to leave his family and go where he tell him. Now, Abraham don't have no compass or GPS like what we do today, but he trusted God to lead him. Okay, so he told him to carry his immediate family, his wife and his oxen or whatever it is, but he carried his nephew Lot because he thought that it was, he was taking care of his brother's son, so he figured to look out for him. He brought him with him, but that wasn't a part of the plan. Okay, then he come with him, and all of a sudden, the whole his peoples and Abram people, they started causing a fuss. So then Abram said, time for us to split up. So they did. And then Lot looked to the right side. He saw this beautiful flourishing land, and he took it. So Abram said, whichever land you take, he let him take the first bit. I take the opposite. So then he did that. And then, of course, he didn't realize the land he took was a land where a lot of stuff was going on. Okay, a lot of stuff was going on. Sodom and Gomorrah. A lot of things was going on there. So then ended up, Abraham had to go save him because there was a war over there. Okay. And then when they came, he took he got his nephew, got him. And then they tried to offer him some gifts. And he said, no, I don't want none of your gifts. Okay. Because your stuff is not honorable. The Lord don't want me to touch none of that. You got to be obedient. Okay. So after that, God made a covenant, an agreement with Abram. He changed his name from Abram to Abraham, and he changed his wife Sarai, her name, to Sarah, and they were blessed with abundance. Many nations, he said, will come from their seed. Abraham had some visitors who gave him a promise that they would have a son by the next year, but Sarah, she overheard and she kind of laughed, saying, I'm old now to have a baby. And guess what? She ended up having a baby. She was 99 years old, and her husband was 100 years old, because there's nothing impossible that God can't do. And God kept his promise. Okay. Then they had a son named Isaac. Okay. Because we're from the seed of Abram, Isaac. And then we have Jacob. Jacob came through from Isaac and Rebekah. Because remember, Isaac married Rebekah. And then Rebekah, then they had Jacob and Esau. So those are the two sons came forth. So now remember, when they were born, they were twins in the womb. And Jacob grabbed the heel of Esau. Remember, Esau lost his birthright. Okay, that was a blessing. So and he got it. Jacob got the blessing through trickery because of his mother, who set it all up. Okay, so now he's moving away from there now. So now we're gonna be reading Jacob's dream, and that is from Genesis 27 to 28. Okay, so we're going to read this, and after you read this, you pay attention, and we pray that you will get a lot of points in the game. All right? Now, Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and told him, you must not take a wife from that Canaanite woman. Go to the house of your mother's father. Take as your wife one of the daughters of Laban. God Almighty bless you and make you fruitful and multiply, that you may become a company of peoples. May he give you the blessings of Abraham to you and to your offspring, that you may take possession of the land that God gave to Abraham. So Isaac went away. Jacob, he went to Aram. He came to a certain place and stayed there that night because the sun had set. Taking one of the stones, he took a big old stone and put it under his head, and he lay down to sleep. He started snoozing. Oh, yes, he was feeling so good. Yes, yes. He dreamed, and there was a ladder set up on the earth. The top of the ladder reached to heaven. The angels of God were ascending and descending. So ascended means you're going up, and descending, you're coming down. So they were going up and down the ladder. Look at that nice picture. See that picture right there? Up and down. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, the Lord stood above it and said, I am the Lord, the God of Abraham, your father, and the God of Isaac. The land on which you lie I will give to you and to your offspring. Your offspring shall be like the dust of the earth. You shall spread to the west and to the east and to the north and to the south. In you and your offspring shall all the families of the earth be blessed. Behold, I am with you, and you will keep and will keep you wherever you go. I will bring you back to this land, for I will not leave you until I've done what I've promised you. Then Jacob, he awoke from his sleep and said, surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it. And he was afraid and said, how awesome is this place. This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. Early in the morning, Jacob took the stone that he put under his head and set it up for a pillar. He poured oil on the top of the stone. He called the name of that place Bethuel. Then Jacob made the vow, saying, if God be with me and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat and clothing to wear, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then the Lord shall be my God. And this stone which I have set up for a pillar shall be God's house, and of all that you give me, I will give a full tenth to you. Wow. So Jacob, he honored God where he was. Oh my goodness. He was just so in awe of what happened, but he was able to see. I mean, look at him sleeping. Okay, I mean, let me just put it a little closer. Look at him sleeping. You see Jacob over there sleeping. Okay, and all of a sudden he's dreaming and look at the heavens. Oh my goodness, that was so powerful. Yes. Okay, so let's reflect on the story and let's answer the questions that come after. He said, beginning with Adam, God has spoken words of promise to his special followers. And you think about Abraham. How is Jacob's dream another example of his blessing? Remember, God told Abraham that his seed is going to be a blessing. Okay, he's going to multiply and great things going to happen. Okay, so God promised to Abraham. Abraham was Jacob's, I believe he was great grandfather. Yes, so remember I said we are the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So that connection, the three, okay, that's what we came under. His dream is another example of his blessing. The same promise he gave to Abraham to bless him, make him fruitful and multiply. Blessing goes to his generation. So God's promise is guaranteed. God never go back on what he says. You can believe that. Okay, you can believe everything that you read in the Bible. Make sure you read in the Bible, every week, every day you read the Bible, read a chapter in the Bible. You double check and you go through these chapters. You got to read the Bible, read the chapters here in order for you to get those games, when you play the game. So it's just a wonderful thing, that God's promises. Oh my gosh, he promised that he's going to take care of you. You ask him to help you, he'll help you. Yes, yes. And number 2 says, why did Jacob want to remember the place of his dream? What special places do you set aside for worshiping God? Well, the place was special to Jacob because he realized it was a holy place. It's where the Spirit of the Lord dwells. It became very sacred to him. A special place is set aside for me in worshiping God. I have my bedroom when I wake up. I like to talk to God in my bedroom. my living room and my dining room. I hang out with God. Matter of fact, I hang out with God all parts of my houses, but these are the three main places where I do a lot of things that I when I connect to God, I do it in these three places. I don't just have one, but every place in my home is blessed. But these three places are very good. I connect when I wake up. I like to talk to God when I wake up, and I read my Bible. And I just have that conversation with God. So, in my bedroom, that's sacred for me. And, when I do the ministry, I do it between the living room and the dining room. So they have different places where I do what I do for the ministry. So, I'm just excited about what God has given me. And I'm excited for my life. So I got to spend time talking to him and tell him how much I appreciate him. So whichever place, you could have a special place, whatever it is, could be part of it, could be a closet, whatever you want. You could use it as a prayer. People have separate places where they got designated for certain things, prayer room and stuff like that. I don't do all of that because my entire house is blessed, and it could be any place I could be, that I spend time with God, because it's important is spending time with God. That's the key, So as long as God knows you got your heart, he's got your heart and you're connected to him, well, that's a powerful thing. And the last question says, in what ways do God's angels serve his people? Oh my goodness, that's powerful. God's angels are ancient agents of him. Yeah, he serves his people by providing protection. Okay, they're messengers of hope, and they help to balance different parts of our lives. So, they help in so many different ways. I know we always talk about Michael and Gabriel. Okay, there's also Uriel and Raphael. I come to find out Michael, he's responsible for the south. So they are parts in four corners of the earth. Okay, and we have Uriel is for the north, and Gabriel is for the west, and Raphael is for the east. Okay, so they protect of the four corners of the earth. Yes, they have their assignments. Okay, and God sent them out to do certain things. I don't know if you remember when little Mary was gonna have the baby, and God, spoke to her and told her she found favor of the Lord, and the Lord was going to use her to bring his child into the world. And she's not going to go through natural things like man and woman joining together, but that was spiritual. Okay. And if you want to read a little bit more about angels, you would go to Psalm 91, verse 11. You go to Psalm 104, verse 4. You go to Hebrews 1, verse 14. You go to Hebrews 13, verse 2. You could go to Luke 3, verse 13. You even go to Luke chapter 1 when you talk about even Mary, and you got Elizabeth. So that Elizabeth had the baby in an older age too. Angel came to her as well, and Matthew came to her husband Zacharias. And John 3:16 that talk about God sending his son. So we just thank God for the story, and just read some more about angels and see how much they do, because angels, they also healing, miracles, different things happen. God used the angels as his agents to do great things upon the earth. So we just thank God for the story. And I want you now to take some time to review it. And this is Genesis 27 to 28. And then next week, again, Jacob's reading about Jacob's family, and Genesis 29 to 31. So next week, you got to read those 29, 30, 31. So you got to read 3 chapters next week in order to play the game. So we're going to play the game in about a minute. And make sure you register for the game. Make sure that you, sign up, at the Excel project. Yes, you see the .com, /kids game show. Yes, the Excel project. Thank you. .com/register. Okay, you got to register to play the game. All right, so I want you to have fun And I hope you enjoyed the Bible story. And, here we go. We're going to play the Excel game. All right? So have fun. This is Sister Georgie. And here with Auntie Jody. Oh, my goodness. And I'm sure you enjoyed that story that we read. So I hope you were listening, because guess what? We're going to play the Excel Kids game, okay? And if you listen to the story, okay, then you will know exactly how to answer, okay? And
exactly.
This game is from ages 12 and under. See, we used to say it was from 3 to 12 years old, but guess what? If you are smarty and a genius at 1 year old, hey, we're not going to stop you now, okay? So you just go ahead and put your little genius cap on, all right? And we're going to play this game because we're going to play to win, okay? So here are the rules of the game, okay? And remember, this game is part of the stories that I read on Saturday mornings, and also some of the stories I read about other historical people. All right, so pay attention, and I want you to win. Okay, so Auntie Jody is going to explain the rest of the game to you.
Right. All right. So anyone can play this game. All right. You can play the game. But if you want to win prizes, you have to register. Okay. You got to register. All right. So we have week 1. So basically the game will start in May. And May is Child's Month, right? Everybody knows that. Yes. May is Child's Month. So now we are practicing, letting you get to know the game and everything. So, and this game is really fun. Okay, it's really, really, really fun. It's really, really fun. And so week one, when you go through week 1, if you have scored any points, it will bring you to the semifinal in week 2. Yes, you're excited. I like to win. Okay, I like to win. I love to win. So you'll be going to the semifinal, and after you go to the semifinal, you're going to go to the finals. And if you are a winner, you're going to be on the show. Yes, you're going to be on the show. We're going to take you on the show, to get to know you and just have pretty and nice fun, right? So it's not hard. It's not hard to play. We're going to go into the game and we're going to play the game. All right. All right. So the code is on the screen. The code is on the screen. The website is on the screen. Let me get my phone.
And just to say what Auntie Jody said, just repeat it a little bit. It's joinmyquiz.com/pro. Is that what it says there? We'll just say joinmyquiz.com, okay? And
play. I think it's play. I'm not seeing it clearly.
Put your name on it, and then you put the code in, because it says you have to have your phone now. You have to have your phone. And
you gotta have your phone.
You gotta have your phone in front of you, because and it's gonna come up. It's gonna say joinmyquiz.com. It's gonna come up as quizzes.com, and you don't put your name in there. You could put a screen, some kind of name you made up in there, okay? And it's going to say start. And once the game start, you got to put your code in first, and you come to the screen where you put your name in and start. So once the game starts, you can't go back again, okay? You got to wait till the game is completed. Then we start over again. Then you're able to join it. So if you missed it the first time, you get to do it the second time. So joinmyquiz.com, and the code is 799956. Okay, so the code again is 79999. 999 means 3 9s and 56. So 799956. Okay, so right now we're doing a practice, and we just want to get used to the game. And let me tell you something. The official game starts as Auntie Jody said in May, but the actual date is May 7th. So make sure you log in at 9 o'clock and make sure that you are registered at the excelproject.com/register, because if you don't register, you're not going to win anything, right, Auntie Jody? You can't win nothing. There's a saying, you got to be in it to win it. Okay?
Yes.
So you can play along with us if you want to, just to have a little fun. It's okay.
Yes.
You know, but if you really want to win some prizes, and guess what? We got a lot of great prizes. I know y'all like to go on Amazon and you like to shop, and whoever else where that we're gonna get you some rewards, some kind of
yes. Okay. Yes,
so
come on.
You'd be surprised the amount of things that we come up with, Sister Georgie and Auntie Jody come up with. Okay, so y'all better come on up in this game, and I want to see y'all winning. Okay, and beat Sister Jody at her game. Beat Auntie Jody and Sister Auntie Jody and Sister Jody at her game. Okay, show us how smart and show us that you know how to listen and follow directions and get all the answers correct. Okay.
Yes, all the answers correct. Yes. All the answers.
Yes. Yes, Auntie Jody. Yes. So remember, we're doing this for fun, and let me tell you, Auntie Jody and I, we having fun already. Okay, because we love working with children. Okay, so everybody understand the rules of the game? Okay, it said, Auntie Jody said you got to register to win. If you don't register, you're not going to win anything.
Not going to win anything. All right, so you can play the game, but if you want to win that Amazon gift card and gifts and surprises, you got to register.
Yes, right.
Yes, you got to.
Okay, all right.
Are you ready, Sister Georgie?
Yes, I'm ready, Auntie Jody. We ready? Let's do this.
All right, so I'm ready.
All right. Let me put my code up in here. Yes, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Yes, I'm ready. I got my name in there, Sister Georgie. Ready to start? Yes.
So remember, guys, gifts and surprises.
Yes.
Surprises. We have a lot of gifts for you.
Yes. Okay. Ready? Let's go.
A lot of gifts for you.
Ready to start?
Are we ready? Yes.
Let's put the start button.
Yes, we are ready.
Okay, here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, go. Okay. What did Rebecca and Isaac do when they did not have children? Did they pray? Did they cry? Or they did nothing? Okay.
Mine says God blessed them by two twins, a boy, or 2 girls.
Okay, let's go on. All right. Isaac's favorite son was, and Rebecca's favorite son was Jacob. Esau, Jacob, or none.
All right, so my questions are a little bit different. My questions are a little bit different. Yeah, it said Jacob tricked his brother and took from him clothes, money, or birthright.
Oh, wow. Wow. I don't know why they're doing that. Anyway, my question says both Jacob and Esau were that they finally gathered. Were they happy, worried, or sad? Okay.
All right, and then mine says Isaac's favorite son was Rebecca, or his favorite son was Isaac and Esau. So I guess both questions are a little bit different. Power up. I'm powering up. This is how the power up goes.
Okay.
Powering up.
Okay, Jacob was blank and what Jacob was blank and love too. Okay. Jacob, was he the younger and smooth, hon? Jacob was the younger, smooth, working the tent, or Jacob the younger? I'm having fun here. Auntie Jody,
Yay.
oh my goodness.
I saw the, okay. I'm all done.
I'm all
I
done.
came in second.
Wow.
I came in second. Oh, and it showed me. Let me see if I can show you guys. Oops. All right, so all the questions and the answers are there. So everything that I got wrong, it's showing as well.
Oh, there it is.
No, if I can see it.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So all the red I got wrong, and the green.
Yes.
So all the answers, everything is there.
Yes, this is awesome.
Okay. Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yes, and this is a fun game. So also on here, what came up was the what is called the power up. So when you get some questions wrong, it allows you to go back and answer those correct answers. So it's really fun and it's really easy. So you have to pay attention.
You really got to pay attention. You got to
you got to pay attention. So you have chance to win. You got a lot of chance to win. 2 different chance to win.
That's right.
If you get those questions incorrect.
So guys, just have fun, so we're looking forward to you
it's a fun
playing
game.
with us again next week. Okay, and oh my goodness, Sister Georgie came in first place. Oh wow.
Yes, Sister Georgie. Listen, let me say this. Next week I'm going to be on top. I'm going to be on top next week.
Sister Georgie don't mind.
I'm going to be on top. Best believe it.
Yes, that's okay. All right, kids. This is the end of our show. And we just
this was fun.
That you were part of it, and we just enjoyed ourselves. And I want you all to tune in next week at 9 a.m. to listen to Sister Georgie read Bible stories for children. As Auntie Jody is gonna come in and she's gonna play the game, the Excel Kids game,
and win.
And we are gonna win, okay? And Georgie and try not to be a part of it too much, because I guess it's the Georgie will answer or get all the answers to all the questions. Unless y'all want Sister Georgie to play, that's okay too. It's all right. I just sit and look nice and pretty, so everybody can go win the game. But Sister Georgie want to win something too, Okay?
Yes.
Anyway, have fun, guys, and see you next time. No, we love you. Did you enjoy that game? Oh my Lord. I have a lot of fun. Oh my God. I enjoy playing the game. I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna really get into the game on next week, next Saturday at 9 o'clock. Oh my goodness. So y'all gotta make sure y'all gotta read the Bible. Okay, y'all gotta read it now. And because it's gonna be they're gonna go back to talking about Jacob's dream. Okay, that's gonna be the story, or we're gonna do Jacob's dream, Genesis 27-28, and I believe they're gonna do Genesis 29-31. So you got a bunch of scriptures you got to read in order for you to play this game. And children, I want you to have fun. Okay, I like to have fun. I enjoy answering questions to game. I love playing games. I love winning prizes. Okay, but don't forget now, you got to read the Bible. You got to read the Holy Bible. Okay, you got to get into it, and they have the children's ones. You can have your parents read it to you. It's very important to know to read the Bible, and I remember when I was raised and my children were growing up, I read the Bible to them and I prayed with them. Okay, it's so important to talk to God, just like how you see Jacob, he talked to God and he was just feeling so wonderful. And he felt God was so special. He felt his presence. And when God's presence is with you, oh my goodness, you feel so great. You feel like you're on top of the world. I mean, great things happen when you are in that connection with the Lord. Okay, because especially in our time with so many things going on, so many things happen to the little children. I mean, they're trying to change up your little mindset, not giving you a chance to grow up. But you know what? Sister Georgie is praying for little children, is praying that little children not get hurt, that little children grow up to be all what Jesus destined them to be. Yes. If I was only a child, why I need to read? If I'm only a child, why do I need to read the Bible? That's a good question, Sat Brownie. It's important. Well, it's important to read the Bible because the Bible has some great things, some great stories, some great things that can help you. The Bible helps to encourage you, to build you up, to make you who you're supposed to be. Yes, and parents, it's our job to read the Bible to children because children got to learn about the love of Jesus, learn about the love of God, because when we go into situations, I tell you something, when I truly learned about Jesus and what he can do, oh my goodness, I started to depend on him for everything in my life. I see children do some great things. I see children becoming entrepreneurs. I see children doing some wonderful things, and it's parents encouraging them, parents influencing them to do the right thing. The Bible gives you wisdom. The Bible allow you to make good choices. Yes. Oh, thank you, Kelly Verses. Love when you read the stories. Thank you. Yeah, God loves me too, even when I make mistakes. Yes, he does. So, I mean, the Bible gives balance. So parents, we got to read the Bible to the children. Let them understand that they are loved. Somebody loves them. Because let me tell you something. There were times when I was a little girl, I didn't feel like I was loved. I had mother and father and that whole house full of people. I never felt like I was loved, but somehow, a little bit I knew about God, I asked him for help. Yes, I should ask my parents to read the Bible for me. Yes, very important. Yes, ask them to read the Bible because it's very good. Oh my goodness. And I tell you, I did not even know that God was protecting me. I wasn't paying attention to him, but God was protecting me. Because you know what? God loves little children. Yes, he does. He really, really does. And he said that they are gifts. Yes, like I said, Sister Georgie, children are gifts. Yes, they are beautiful gifts from the Lord, so he cherished them. And even us as grown people, we adults, we are children of the Lord as well, because Jesus, he said, Jesus on the telephone, tell him what you want. Yes, anytime you call on Jesus, he will answer prayer. Yes, Kelly Virtues, you got it right. Yes, so I just say, when you going through anything in your life, whatever it is, just call on him. Say, Jesus, help me, help me. And you know what? He'll help you. I just love little children. I love working with little children. I love reading the Bible stories. I love reading Bible stories of people who do great wonders. Even as little children can write little stories. Yes, you are young, but God gave you so much. Yes, thank you, Kelly Virtues. Yes, God give you so much gifts, little children. There's so much in you, okay? And you just need to be around the right people to bring it out. And if you are feeling sad and feeling lonely and feeling at home that nobody cares, somebody cares. The Lord will raise up somebody to help you. I remember when I taught in the school system, I started out with elementary school kids and with special needs children. And I tell you, they was going through a lot. They went through a lot in their lives. But you know what I did? You know what I did as their teacher? I encouraged them. You see that book right there says Poems About My Self-Esteem? Oh, yes. They helped to inspire me to write that book. And I helped them to build up their self-esteem. I helped them to be all that they can be. I shared my testimony of my life as a lonely child, living in a home full of people. Yes, and I tell you, though, that poetry, oh my God, there was one poetry in there that when I said it, when we wrote it, I wrote it on the board and they wrote it down and they were talking about it. The one that says, how do you build up your self-esteem? You got to feel good about yourself and you got to tell yourself you love you. Okay. One of my favorite poetry, and let me see if I can find a page in the book so I could read it a little bit, and I want to read it from the book. Okay. Because it's important, and it says, I love me. That's page 15. Yes. I love me. I just love me. That's some deep stuff, That's some deep stuff when you talk about loving yourself. That's some serious thing. That's how you help to build up your self-esteem. Because when you start loving yourself, honey, child, oh my goodness, great things start happening. Okay. You're not going to let nobody talk to you the way they want to talk to you. Nobody ain't going to bully you. Okay, nobody can say, make you do this, make you do that, and call you all kind of names. It don't make no difference. I don't care what you say. Okay, it's how I feel about myself. And that's all important. And let me tell you, if you're struggling with self-esteem, ask God to help you. Ask Jesus to help you. Help you to learn how to love yourself. And when you start loving yourself, you start feeling so good about yourself. Oh my goodness. And you started smiling. And no matter what people want to say. And understand too, it's not what people say about you, it's what God says about you. And God says you are special. You is important. Yes, that's what Jesus says. You is important. And because you is important, you got to walk as somebody that's important, okay? Important to the Lord, okay? Because let me tell you something. You can't live this life without God. Guess what? I tried to do some things without God, but guess what? It don't work. It didn't work, So, so you check out my book, Poems About My Self-Esteem. See if you pick up a copy. It's on my website, WAMOE.org, and help. Just talk good things to yourself. Look in the mirror. It don't matter how young you are. Look in the mirror and, you got some mommies, like when I taught in the school system, some of the mommies, they didn't know how to be mothers. Because some of the mommies were young mothers. So they were still children themselves. So they also need teaching, and I would encourage the mothers, and tell your children good things and children, just say, I am good. I'm a good person. Tell yourself that. I am special. I am wonderful. I am smart. Tell yourself that. You know, I taught children with special needs, and I tell them too that you're smart. You're smart in your own way. Don't let nobody tell you anything different. Don't let nobody tell you that you're not smart, because every child learns a different way. Okay, my children that was special needs, I taught most of that for most of my teaching career. And I loved it. And I empowered them so much. Oh my goodness. And man, oh my goodness, Sister Georgie. Oh, I was very tough for my students. Oh, yes, because I wanted them to learn. And they understood I wasn't trying to be mean. I was very firm. And I let them know, hey, you see life out here? Life don't play with nobody. So you got to learn how to be respectful. And respect begins with you. Yes, respect begins with yourself. You got to respect yourself. Okay, you can't be talking all kind of mean things coming out your mouth. You can't be mean to people, you know, because when you are mean to people, that's his reflection on who you are. Okay, so you got to learn a little bit, you know, as you go along, as you're little, you know, start learning different things. And I pray for parents that they'll do the right thing with their children and let them grow up. And let them be themselves, and stop trying to put these little things into them, telling them they should be the opposite of who God made them. And they don't want to say that they're male or female. Why are we putting all our things on children? Let children have fun. Children, enjoy your life. Yes, Kelly Virtue, I want to be a good child too. Yes, you know, and live your life. And I'm going to tell parents, let children live their lives. Stop trying to put your adult thoughts onto them. Let them be themselves. Let them grow into what the Lord is destined for their lives. Teach them to love Jesus. Teach them, pray with them. And when you pray with them, you know, as we talk about the angels, God said, he's saying angels to give protection in Psalm 91. Okay, give protection over us. Okay, so we got to pray and ask God to cover our children and teach them how to love themselves. And don't speak mean things to the children. Don't call them, names and tell them that they're stupid. Oh, I never liked that word because I heard it so much when I was a child and it made me feel so bad. Don't tell the children they're stupid. Don't tell the children that they're dumb. Don't tell the children they are bad. You got to be careful of the words you use to your babies. Okay, even if they're lying on their back, they know what's going on. They know what's happening. Okay, all right, they know what's taking place. So you got to remember, don't think that the baby's lying on the back. They ain't got no sense now. You think they know what's going on? You think they don't know if you are a mean person or not? You think they don't know? Yes, they do know. God made babies with some they're so intuitive. I remember when my daughter was born, and she was just 2 or 3 days old, and her daddy was talking to her, and she up there trying to move her lips as if she want to answer him. Imagine that at 3 days old. Okay, so, and children are much more resilient now than ever before. So you can imagine how unique they are. So never underestimate the child. Okay, but it's what you put into the child, that's what they're going to become. And when you are putting good things into the children, don't let them use the word can't. Say, I can and I will. Okay, you got it. And even if for your personal self, you don't feel good about you, but don't let the children feel that. As I know when I was teaching my children, a lot of things I was teaching them, I didn't even understand, but I forgot I asked the Lord to help, you know? So I am just encouraging you today that you will love the Lord and learn more about him and read your Bible. So see you next week. Okay. See you next week. And, and please be a part of the game, the Excel Project game, and just let's have fun. Okay. Know that I love you and Jesus loves you more. Bye.
Did you enjoy that story? We hope you did.
If you would like to be a part of the show, fill out our guest form at theexcelproject.com/kids. See you next week. Stay safe.
Empowering the community requires investment, support, collaboration, communication, and access. At least, that is how we see it. As a media advocate for the community, Jesseline Abel has positioned herself to become a solution. She is a published author of the book Laced in Love. She is currently completing certification to become an orthoptist. She is also a poet, and most importantly, she is passionate about helping others tell their story. We are happy to introduce you to Be the Light Publishing. Through this initiative and her show, The Light Within, Jesseline wants to collaborate with you to increase your access to investment opportunities using your story. Communication is a powerful tool but often misused. We hide from our stories, thereby missing out on the opportunity to leverage them to acquire opportunities and wealth. With our support, we believe that we can help you use your stories to create generational opportunities for wealth and ownership. Be the Light Publishing. Our website bethelightpub.com.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to The Light Within. My name is Jessie, and I am so happy to have you on today. Welcome again. Thank you again for tuning in to The Light Within as we aim to become the change, the solution, the advocate for empowerment in our community. We want to say thank you to all of our community leaders, supporters, and those who go above and beyond to make sure that the marginalized, underdogs, and the less fortunate are not forgotten and neglected. Thank you so much. Again, I am Jessie, and thank you so much for supporting UME Radio. So now let's get right into it. I'm going to let you know about, some life lessons that I learned this week. And we're going to go straight into our community notice board, where we will talk about the Excel project and everything that is going on recently there. And last but not least, we will get into our feature of today, which is Women and Men of Excellence Outreach Ministries. And I absolutely love them. It's a great organization. And the founder, she is amazing is not the word to cover her, okay? So some life lessons that I learned this week was to be still and trust your intuition. It is hi Tavia, hey, how are you? So this week I learned to be still and trust your own intuition. Sometimes you already know what may be going on, and God doesn't want you to jump ahead or fall back. He kind of places you in this like nice middle realm where it's okay to just be still and live in the moment and not think and not overthink. And that all ties into intuition, because you guys may or may not know I'm studying for boards in my career, and we're going through tests. Teachers give you tests and answer the questions. The more you do it, the more you become familiar with the material and everything like that, right? And I have a friend that we would send each other pop random questions here or there, and she asked me a question and my intuition was just like, yeah, that's it. And I've always had that struggle since I was little. I would immediately know the answer and then second guess myself from it in some weird way to make my right answer wrong and get the answer incorrect. And I really had to be like, I know this about myself. I know this about my life. I know this about my studies. Whatever is going on in your life right now, and you may be struggling, or you may be asking, I want a confirmation, or I'm not sure, whatever. Trust your gut. Your gut's your second brain. Trust your gut. Teachers tell you that from the beginning, and there's a reason for it. You may not know the reason, and sometimes it's not up to us to know the reason, to know the gray area, but trust in that gray area. So that is my lesson for today. Now let's get into our community notice board, where I'm going to feature the Excel project. Now, if you don't know, everyone, the Excel Project has been established since 2014. It is about enriching the lives of young men and women through self-care and skills development. They have amazing, amazing courses for everyone. And it was founded by Apostle Dr. Faith Walters, the founder, and she's the CEO of Women and Men of Excellence Outreach Ministries of Mount Vernon, New York. In 2014, she officially launched the Excel Project Vocational Training Center. The Excel Project has online courses. You could choose from over 500 plus courses. They can be taken by students. It doesn't matter the date. And to date, it has delivered over 8 million lessons delivered. There are activity packs, TV series that are designed to be positive, transformative, and exciting show with kids. You know, we just came from Sister Georgie, and kids learning and kids earning and kids knowing about the Bible and all of that. That is from the Excel Project. That is from the Excel Project. So I want to also feature, if you have young kids right now, it is not only National Mental Health Month, it's not only Mother's Day weekend, it is National Children's Month. And I want to let you know what the Excel Project is doing for the kids. That is absolutely amazing, beautiful. And not only do they learn the Bible, but they are able to earn themselves and grow and be competitive. So the Excel Project right now is doing Excel Kids game, and that is going to be every single week. Now, let me tell you who can play. Anyone can play, but only registered players will qualify to win rewards. Only children 12 years or younger will be qualified to play to win. The winner will eventually be featured on the show where they will receive their award. Every player has equal opportunity to play and win as many times as they choose. Now, the game consists of 3 stages, everyone. The first game starts the first week each of the month. So today, if you go back, we just launched the first game. Then you advance to week 2 and then week 3. Each stage has 15 questions and each player gets 1 minute to answer each question. Now, let me tell you how you need to register to win, okay? So in order for your kids to register to win, winners are selected on a monthly basis. So each player must participate in the live game show weekly. So you have to tune in to UMERADIO, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you will be notified. A winner will be announced on the 4th week of each month and awarded their prizes, which includes cash rewards and other surprises. So to get in touch with the Excel Project, to know how to register, go to theexcelproject.com/register or theexcelproject.com/kids to know more on everything that they have, because they don't just do kids. I want to highlight that particularly right now. To go to info@theexcelproject.com. You could also call them at 914-699-2482. And also, okay, I could forget, if you have little ones that love to read, that love to write, the Excel Project is having a youth book deal competition that's partnered with UMERADIO and Be the Light Publishing. This is where your little ones and any member of the community of Mount Vernon, if they have a story to tell, if they write stories, if they're a poet, if they're an author of any type of fiction, nonfiction, what have you, there's an opportunity for them to have their own book deal and partner with WAMO and create an own book deal. And I think it's absolutely amazing. So if you want more info on that, go to WAMOE.org/network and all of that will be there. Yes, and as we keep scrolling, there are some courses. These courses are IACET accredited CEU courses for professionals, ex-convicts, and seniors. And everyone, go to theexcelproject.com. go to theexcelproject.com. All right, so now I want to tell you about the outreach ministries and feature the outreach ministries. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about who they are, what they're all about, and we have some video clips to share with you. So the WAMO is a digital ministry reaching the left. We're going to do this again. You guys know I'm Bumble Jessie, so here we go. WAMA is a digital ministry reaching the lost at any cost. It's a church without walls or boundaries, a community-focused ministry empowering people for success in the kingdom of God. So what do they offer? They offer Bible education and church services that starts at 5 p.m. on Sundays and 2 p.m. on Wednesdays. They have a prayer line on Monday mornings that is at 7 a.m. All of their programs are televised and broadcast to 1.7 million households. Okay, I'm going to say that again. 1.7 million households. You could join live to watch that at www.wamoe.org/media. They also have a media network with books and music. Again, you could go to wamo.org/resources to tune into that, as well as they have their TV shows. They have their kids Bible stories for children on UMERADIO, and then they have something for adults too. We don't leave you out. They have Bible cufflinks and stilettos, and it gets sometimes kind of steamy in there. So that is what they are. You could go to all of their programs. I'm going to read them again to you. We have the Excel Project, www.theexcelproject.com. They also have Family All the Way at www.familyalltheway.com. So if you are single, if you are in a relationship, if you need help in regards to counseling or anything like that, you could go to familyalltheway.com or therapy with Dr. Faith. That is at www.wamo.org/counseling to learn the skills to build. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Dr. Faith herself. Again, Apostle Dr. Faith Walters is not only the founder, but CEO of Women and Men of Excellent Ministries of Mount Vernon, New York. In 1997, Apostle Faith received a revelation from the Lord to begin a ministry that would empower individuals for success in the kingdom of God. The ministry is strategically positioned to do some things, and these are her pillars, guys. It starts with empowering people for success in the kingdom of God through Bible education, establishing support services for the upliftment and development of our members and the community at large. We empower children and youth to increase their knowledge and earning potential by advancing their skills and professional capacity. The Excel Project. Establish and foster strategic partners to provide solutions for families who need shelter, a place for worship, skills development, and certification in culinary arts and growth opportunities for professionals, seniors, and business owners. Increase public knowledge on the ability of social services within the community for their advancement. Helps individuals and families develop a positive mindset around their sexual health and marriages. And last but certainly not least, provide support and a source of hope to senior citizens, ex-convicts, and individuals overseas. Now, we are in the month where she does her community outreach. She does this monthly. And over 2 decades of community outreach, their outreach ministry is a once a month, a monthly gift-giving activity courtesy of Angelic Unique Creations. Baskets with food, hygiene products, and other goodies are delivered to the community members. On average, 30 packages are delivered monthly. And if you are feeling led to partner with WAMO, to partner with her outreach ministries, let me tell you some of the benefits that would help you in this partnership. So when you partner with WAMO, they have a greater impact, not just only in the community, but the benefit is you could get your business promoted on television, online, and in all paid print materials. To learn more about this, go to theexcelproject.com www.untitled.org/partner. And with that being, we have on the screen here, I'm going to tell you ways that you can donate and ways that you can, if you live in the Mount Vernon area, to reach out to be a part of the monthly packages to receive it. So in order to go, it takes place on the second Tuesday of each month at 34-56 East 3rd Street, Mount Vernon, New York, 10550. You can call them at 914-699-2482 or 914-837-9635, or go to support@wamo.org. If you feel led to donate, there are 4 ways that you can do this by. You can go through Zelle and email them at wamoministries@gmail.com, paypal.me/wamo, Cash App, that is $outreach22, capital O with that. So it's $outreach22. And last but not least, you can go to Gively, Givelify. Okay, Gively. There we go. So I want to first let you guys in on a clip about that with Dr. Faith herself talking about the bags that she is going to be preparing for this month.
Okay, one bag set next.
Yes. So we got some. We have the apple. We have the. We're gonna use some of this. We're doing some of
So
this.
right now they are doing bags for not only
Just oats and honey bar.
It looks really good. Not only doing bags for Children's Month, but also having bags for
the other stuff is for the adults. We have that
for Mother's Day and the adults. Yeah. So the roses that is to have
let's do first thing first.
personal touch, because roses are her symbol, particularly red roses are Apostle Dr. Faith Walter's symbol. So she has 20 bags just for the kiddies, just for the kiddos this month, and she also has her 30-month bags that she does every month, as I previously stated with you guys before.
Okay. Wow, this is some good stuff. And
which is absolutely awesome. Like, can we go?
They never had a rose.
So that's one of the first bags. Now, can we go to a short clip that I have about, you see all 50 bags together, and it is.
And, these are
Look
all
at that.
completed packages for our community outreach drive for the month of May 10th, Tuesday, May 10th at 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. at 34-56 East 3rd Street in Mount Vernon. These are the completed packages. And it was a lot of work.
Yes.
But
imagine
we take great pleasure
packages
in doing it. So, you know, we're just really
look at
wonderful.
that. Look how beautiful they are.
Will enjoy it and love it. And we'll be back at this again next month. But we're just grateful to the Lord that we're able to do this.
Yes, we have a comment from.
This is Apostle Faith, and God bless every one of you. And see you next time.
See you next time.
Have a great.
All right, so I want to read out some comments. We have comments from UMERADIO that says, this woman is a special woman of God. Yes, she certainly is. And another one that says, God pour out his grace and favor all over her. She needs all of it, God, all of the anointing. We have provided us with, I just love this. Yes. It is absolutely amazing. Look at them packaging everything. It is great. It is great. Glory to God. Look at that. Now she also, if you guys don't know, it's not only, I'm going to say this again, not only Mother's Day coming up, but it is also National Children's Month and also Mental Health Awareness Month. And I want to go over I want to go over some of her pillars again, because the outreach is something that is meaningful to the ministry. And give me 1 second while I let you all in on it. But you know, in working with Apostle, and as you know, I'm the CEO of Be Light Publishing. She is, I can say and I can attest that she is not only a woman of God, but she's such a hardworking woman, and she puts everything. She doesn't even give 100%. She gives 110%, 120%, and she does it all from the heart. She doesn't do it for any monetary value, you know. She does it from the true benefit for the community, and that's what it is about the Light Within, and why I absolutely love this organization. You know, it's what they do is, we have a comment that says working with her has been transformative. Yes, indeed. Sorry, everyone. My eyes are a little scratchy today with allergies, but I'm going to read off some of her pillars again of what she absolutely loves to do, and the foundation of her ministry. It's just her positive attitude to think that this is for herself, right?
I know.
And it's not. And that's the beauty. Our gifts are not for ourselves. It's for the people that we could reach. It is for the community. So please, you could support this program by going to support@WAMOE.org, going to WAMOministries.com. And if you feel led to donate, there are multiple ways that you can donate and support this cause. You can go to WAMOE.org/give. You can also go to Zelle and type in their email address, which is wamoministries@gmail.com. That is WAMOE ministries@gmail.com. It can also be done by PayPal, paypal.me/wamo/wamo. You can also do Cash App at $outreach22. That is $O outreach 22, and Gively. Again, if you are in the Mount Vernon area and you want to take part, maybe you need a bag yourself, maybe you need something for your kids, this is where you go to, okay? It is happening on this upcoming Tuesday, May 10th. You go to 34-56 East 3rd Street, Mount Vernon, New York, 10550. I'm going to say that again. You go to 34-56 East 3rd Street, Mount Vernon, New York, 10550. This is where she will be handing out the packages coming this Tuesday at 2 p.m. 2 to 3 p.m. This is where she will be handling the packages out. We have more comments rolling in that are saying, you gotta support this program. We have Satin Brownie that says, I love the heart with which she does this. Yes, also says, this is an example of how we can do it this is an example of how we should give unreservedly, thoughtfully, and with excellence. Yes. And oh yes, I'm just laughing because you know I'm Bumble Jessie, and this is morning. I'm just like Anyway, I want to close this out because Apostle Faith has a moving message to share with the children of Mount Vernon, the mothers, to everyone who has a mother who has may lost their mother during the season, and it may be a hard message for them. Before I share this last clip, I want to share with everyone again, thank you for tuning in to The Light Within. If you know anyone like Apostle Faith Walters who is an inspiration in her community, remember this could be done big or small. I want to celebrate you on our program today, and we want you to be and inspiration to others. So we love to be a part of your vision. You can email us at info@umeradio.com. Remember to be the light within your community. Stay connected and follow us on all social media platforms at UME Radio. Remember to give a like, comment, share, subscribe, click that notification bell so you could be notified. Be a light in the community. I'll see you soon. And don't forget to donate and support WAMO and Women and Men of Excellence Ministries. Let's close out with a great message that what Apostle Faith has to say today.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
Yeah, so this is 50 packages.
Right.
We did 20 for the children, the young people, because this is Children's Month. Yes, Children's Month. And we're going to go over to where they are and give them out. So if they're over by where we are at 34-56 East 3rd Street, we can still give them out there if they're there. If not, we go over to their side.
Right.
Go to the park because we want to really have a conversation with them.
Exactly.
Try to encourage them because they're dealing with loss right now.
Exactly.
You know, their friend, for that young lady, the 16-year-old girl that died, and she was laid to rest on last Saturday.
Right.
You know, so that's still very fresh, and we're still praying for the mom, Miss Gordon, and the father. You know, everybody that's connected to that family. We're still praying for them, and we're just thankful to the Lord that we're here to. These packages really help to encourage somebody, to let them know that Jesus loves them.
Exactly.
You know, Jesus did not forget them. Somebody remembered you, and again, I'm going to put more than one flower together, put the whole pile together, and just put this in honor, put all of these in honor of many people who have passed on. We can't forget the mothers that have passed on. We just really want to say a prayer right now for them, for the families that have lost the mothers here on Mother's Day, and they are grieving, and I just really want God to touch them, God to intervene on their lives. May God comfort them in this time, as they grieve the loss of their mother, of their loved one. And even some of them lost their children in this time.
Right.
And we pray for them that their hearts would be touched, that their hearts would be comforted, that the Lord will give them peace in this time and beyond.
Thank you. I don't
as
celebrate
they
it
continue
because I feel like I lost my mother
as
in
they
childhood.
grieve. Some people are still grieving for even a year, lost their children to not only the pandemic or lost their family to pandemic, but some lost their family members to violence.
Yes.
And that's really a serious tragedy.
Exactly.
So
yes,
we just
pray for healing.
Yes, healing is what they need in this time. So these flowers represent that loved one that has been gone, and not able to celebrate this time with you. And just grateful for these packages, and we're so happy that we did them. So they came out really beautiful.
Right.
It's a hard time for a lot of
children. The children's, yes. Children's water with the they make their own iced tea. So this is really great.
Okay.
All right, so God bless you. And again, I will be at 34-56 East 3rd Street in Mount Vernon, New York. And that would be Tuesday, May 10th from 2 to 3:30 p.m. And this while supplies last. And I should be there with County Legislator Tyree Woodson of Westchester County, And, I believe another Pastor Bassett, some other people is going to be standing with me there to help out, even to pray with some of the people,
Yes.
who are going to be
Pray for
passing
healing.
by. Yes. And we pray over these packages right now
Yeah.
in the name of Jesus, that as the people get these packages, God, great things will happen for them. And it's just that they remember that you live and you love them. And Lord God, as they read the tracts and read, about you and what you're doing for them, every time they eat one of these things, whatever it is they're touching, God, something supernatural happen in their lives.
Yes.
They will
Amen.
be healed and set free and delivered. We declare all these food packages blessed in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Amen and amen. God
Right.
bless you.
Heal. Earn. Jessie Lean is on a journey of self-discovery, healing, helping, and divine purpose to spread light. The young entrepreneur is the CEO of Be the Light Publishing. This is a company that is on a mission to help people use their stories to access growth opportunities and build their own brands through management, consulting, access to a network of entrepreneurs, and custom content production. This company was founded out of the need to help people who are challenged or hurt to write their stories and heal while earning at the same time. As an author herself, Jessie Lean understands the challenges that writers sometimes face and is intentional in designing an emotionally safe and empathic environment where writers can thrive. Jessie Lean Abel received her degree in biology and works in the healthcare field, currently completing certification to become an orthoptist. She has been writing poetry since she was 7 years old. The author shares that at first, writing poetry was her break from structured writing like essays, which turned into a hobby and an emotional outlet. Today, it is her passion. It is a way to share her message in the hope of making an impact on others and being a light. Her debut poetry book, Laced in Love, is written for those searching for love, whether they never had it, lost it, or going through a season of depression. It is to help fill that hole, she shares. During the weekend, she can be seen as a talk show host and media wellness advocate on UMERADIO. Laced in Love is currently available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, with over 30 copies sold. One verified Amazon buyer wrote, "A wonderful journey through every facet of love." Jessie Lean Abel writes with such powerful conviction, yet there is also a delicate youthfulness to reverse. A very insightful read into the mind of a strong, Black American woman, an important testament in our time. And another 5-star review read.
Hi, I'm Satin Brownie, and this is Finding Happy Podcast. Finding Happy Podcast is my journey to discover my own happiness through conversations with other persons who inspire me in one way or another. This podcast is about connecting with self to create possibilities and opportunities for happiness.
You deserve peace of mind, you deserve wellness, you deserve laughter, you deserve to smile, you deserve peace of mind, you deserve calm in your world. Your life isn't happening to you. You are life. Your happiness is not something you attain. You are. You generate happiness. You are your joy. You are the producer of your joy. You are the producer of your happiness. You deserve to be happy, so you go find it. Go find your happy at any cost. Risk it all for your own happiness. Find your happy.
Thank you so much for joining me on Finding Happy Podcast. I am Satin Brownie. Today in our conversation, we're going to be speaking about parental relationships. I grew up with parents who didn't have great parents, I would say, or didn't get good parenting. Perhaps that's what I should say. Parents who, I believe from my experience and what I saw, they didn't really know what love was. They didn't seem like people who really, really, truly experienced real love, being loved for who you are, for where you are, just as you are, kind of love, you know? And so I think it was a challenge for them to kind of give it to their child or to their children, in the way that I guess the kids would desire it. Certainly how I desired it, you know. My dad loved me. I knew he loved me. But my mother was a whole other story, you know. But what I believe is, I believe that people are doing their best at all times. I believe my parents did their absolute best. It was their best that they were doing, regardless of whether or not their best was good enough. I know and I'm confident and I'm satisfied that I believe they did their best. And I remember at 16, I wanted to divorce my mother. And I remember the adults around me thinking, where on earth did you get that? Where did you get that from, that you could divorce your parents? But I wanted to. At 16, I hated her. At 16, I hated my mother so badly. I hated her. I remember being told she left when I was 1 year old. I remember growing up without her, but I also remember it's like my father was looking for my mother because I would constantly ask about her. And I remember one night he brought me to this house and he said, we found your mother, we found her, and I'm going to take you to see her. Because I used to pressure him, like, I want to see my sisters and I really want to see my mother. Like, I would talk about it all the time. And I remember when I got to where she was, to the house where she was, I don't think she was at the house. I think she was at work. She worked at a bar. But I remember when she came and she saw me, it's like imprinted in my mind. I think I was wearing like a white t-shirt and one of those black, I think you call those crepes. And I remember the toe was cut out because, you know, my foot was growing out of the shoe. It was, you know, my feet were growing. And I guess my father couldn't buy another pair, so he just cut the front out so my toes, you know, were free. But I remember her saying to me, you look so black. Go to the back, go to the back. You need to go around, go to the back, go to the back, go around the back. That's what I remember. And as a child, I felt like all the fairy tales I told myself about my mother was just shot. But I would spend my next years still wanting that relationship and wanting to feel like I belonged to her. That's what I wanted. To feel like I belonged to her. I remember before she passed, she was in the hospital and I went to see her. And at first she didn't recognize me. And I remember her friends were saying, yes, it's, you know, and saying who it was. And I remember when I sat in front of her and I had my cell phone and she took my cell phone and she stuck it under her tummy like, and she held my hand and she put her face and she was lying down on my hand with her face. And she just kept me there for a while. I remember I wanted to, because at the time I was living in Kingston and I wanted to return to Kingston, but I couldn't move because I felt like I'm going to wake her up. And I remember tidying her. And it was the most amazing thing. She looked exactly like me. Her body was a replica of my own. Mind-blowing. Yeah, it was, it still is shocking for me anyway. Her fingers, her tummy, her vagina, her legs, her thighs. She was me. She looked exactly like me. For a society to thrive, it needs to have people who are able to cultivate and maintain quality, healthy relationships. And it is my personal belief from my own experience and my own upbringing that within the Black community, we are not good at building and maintaining quality relationships among ourselves. That's my personal opinion. You may disagree, and that's okay. It's my personal opinion and experience. And so I am really exploring to learn more about other people's experiences. And so I'm going to be having conversations with persons who are able to talk about their own experiences. And I may share some of mine as well. But I really do think that for us to become a wealthy, healthy, and thriving society, we have to get to the place where we can have quality, beneficial relationships with each other, relationships that are supportive, relationships that are kind, relationships that are rewarding and equally rewarding, that we can be proud of, you know, and that is why I am focusing on relationships. Now, to start us out, I had a conversation with just a really lovely, amazing woman, professional. Her name is Dr. Tanisha Burke. She was born in Jamaica, and she'll tell you her story. She currently lives in and works in Germany. She was such a pleasant person to speak to. The conversation was so easy. Dr. Tanisha Burke, she is a mother. She is a certified positive discipline parent educator, trained and certified fascinating womanhood teacher, and cross-cultural psychology researcher and lecturer. She supports young women, wives, and mothers from diverse ethnic backgrounds to help them navigate womanhood and parenthood. Wow, isn't that lovely? That's amazing. She currently holds a PhD in family relations and human development, an MSc in applied psychology, and a BSc in psychology and international relations. I'm telling you, she's so easy to talk to, so pleasant and warm. She's one of the warmest persons I've met. She's just so open and so comfortable and so confident, but in a way that is just pleasant. She's just warm and pleasant and open. And I loved this conversation, and I most definitely want to have her on again, and we'll be having her on again to have other conversations, because I think she has such a wealth of knowledge and experience from her research and from her work. And I think she is a great example for millennials today, and for us, any one of us. It doesn't matter what age you are. But I think it's especially, I think women who have not yet started having children, it would be worth taking some of her course, one or two of her courses, or at least hearing what she has to say. I'm telling you, she is phenomenal, simply phenomenal. I mean, I've been meeting such amazing women and leaders and men as well through this podcast, and it's just mind-blowing. It's just amazing. So let me start by welcoming you to Finding Happy podcast. I'm Satin Brownie, and we have with us today Dr. Tanisha Burke, and she is Jamaican born, correct?
Yes, I am.
Correct? Awesome. And
yes.
I think she's from Kingston.
Yes. Well, I was born in Kingston.
Okay.
I lived a little bit in Monique, St. Anne with my grandparents between age 3 and 9.
Mhm.
And then I went back to Kingston to live with my mom. You know, the typical Jamaican
I know.
experience. Right.
Yes, absolutely. I know you live in Germany after living in Canada, you know, in
Yes.
I love the trotting. I absolutely love it. As a matter of fact, I remember writing a poem called Trapped in My Life. And at the time, I figured my entire world was the spot I was standing on. And it was so limiting. And it was traveling that really empowered me beyond my circumstances. So that's lovely. How did traveling come about for you?
Well, I think traveling came about because of my education. So I have, how would I say it? I have gone against the odds. I guess people being raised from a low income family, people have said, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that because you don't have money. And I kind of figured out a way around that, which is to make sure I do very well in school and get scholarships and get grants.
Yes.
So yes, I'm not from a rich family, but I found a loophole, which is to make sure I, you know, study my butt off and get the grants and scholarships. So I did my master's and my undergrad at UE, Mona, and I didn't want 3 degrees from the same university.
Right.
So I applied to do my PhD in Canada. And I did get this PhD, and it came with grants and scholarships for most of the program. And I had to work part-time as well to finance it. And then while in Canada, you know, when potential professors are applying to the departments, they usually share the CVs with the graduate students. So, you know, the professor comes, they do their presentation to the department, the graduate students and the professors in the department can ask questions. And I'm looking at all these CVs and I'm seeing like grants for like 100,000, 50,000. And when I research, I realized, oh, I can't get those grants because I am not a Canadian resident or a citizen. And I'm thinking, how am I going to compete with these people when I finish school? Because these look really nice. Yeah, and then I remember when I was at UE, I did an exchange program at University of Toronto, and I thought, maybe I can do an exchange program in my PhD because some professors or some schools may actually prefer international experience more than having large grants. So I did apply to become a visiting researcher, and again, I got a visiting grant scholarship to Germany. And when I got here, I was also, in addition to researching, I was also teaching in the department. And at the end of my grant process, they asked if I had any plans to go back to Canada. And I asked, well, it depends. And they offered me a teaching position, and I've been here since.
That's fantastic. Let me just share with the listeners, you are a certified positive discipline parent educator.
Yes.
Trained and certified fascinating womanhood teacher.
I wear many hats.
I love it. And cross-cultural psychology researcher and lecturer.
Yes.
That is phenomenal.
But all of that is just with the family. So so everything I do focuses on the family. So there's another hat when I'm talking to parents in general.
Yes.
They ask me what I do.
Yes.
I coined the term that I'm a family relationship coach.
Love it.
And it's like, oh, we've never heard that. We've heard about life coach. Well, family relationship coach, you know what I'm all about. I work mostly with women, and I work in 3 core areas. I assist women in building 3 core areas of their lives, which is relationship with self, relationship with your spouse or partner, and relationship with your children, if you have
That's
any.
beautiful.
So for me, if one of those pillars is weak, the other two will suffer. So
Yes.
I am a big advocate for healthy families, and I think a lot of the challenges we experience now in relationships, especially with children, it's related to the instability in families, the unpredictability in families, and also, you know, lots of children are experiencing chaos and abuse and a lot of anger and so on. So for me, I want to help women I work with. I let them know, to work with me, you have to be a woman who strongly believes that you want to build a healthy family for yourself, and you also want to create generational success. And generational success is everything relating to the psychological well-being of you, your children, so that their children will also be well, the mental well-being, the physical well-being, and the financial well-being. People think about generational success as only financial, but for me, everything relating to the well-being of the family. So if you're one of those women who is like, I just want to be strong, independent by myself, I'm not the person for you. If you want to know how you can heal your childhood wounds so that you can attract a healthy man to create a family, then we can talk. Wow. If you're realizing that the spanking and the shaming and whatever other punitive discipline practices just not working, we can talk, so we can go through a positive, healthy way of disciplining your children that is wholesome, that is kind and firm, that also teach them to be capable human beings and learning from their mistakes. So that's what I'm about. I will call myself building and maintaining traditional family. And I'm not going to go anywhere outside of that, because I think that is so, so important now.
Yes, yes. How did you get to this perspective and this, but it sounds like you're on a purpose journey. Can I say that?
Yes, I think it's, you know what? I will start with the fact that my parents got divorced when I was 3. Because of the separation, you know, my mother had to rebuild her life. She was, you know, a lot dependent on my father. So when he left, then she had to rebuild. And I went to live with my grandparents. And it's so amazing that living with them, I didn't see the benefit of it until now. Because my grandparents were very traditional. My grandmother's still alive, but my granddad died 2 years ago. But they're very traditional in their roles, and there are lots of things that I learned from my grandmother that I didn't see the benefit of until now, but I will, you know, describe that later. Mm-hmm. And then I went to live with my mom. She's a single parent, saw the struggles and everything. And then I became a single parent, and I remember the deficits, the void that I felt. And then I, you know, became very concerned for my son. And as he grew, I realized that there were certain deficits as well, especially as a boy. There's certain things that he needs from a man. So I do not embrace this Jamaican phrase about my mother who fathered me.
And neither do I.
in raising a son, and because I'm a researcher, I notice everything.
Yes.
In raising a son, there's certain things that as a woman I cannot teach him.
You cannot father him.
I can tell him how to treat a woman, but how to be a boy who will become a man, I can't do that. So I have been blessed. I've been blessed to have healthy men in my life, from family and my friends' husbands, and also I have a lifelong partner, and he has just been an amazing influence for my son. And I am seeing that it is, so I'm looking for, from my personal experience as a child, seeing the struggle that my son went through before I had my life partner. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, a child needs a father and a mother.
Right.
There are just certain things that I can give him as a mother that a father may not be able to give him, and vice versa.
Right.
And then also doing the research and seeing that children from single parents, they're just so much more susceptible to delinquency, drug abuse, not going to university, and all of that. And the important things that people don't talk about is the fact that girls who are in single parent homes, I'm not ignoring the boys, but it's more prevalent for girls who live in single parent homes. It's easier for them to be sexually abused. Wow. Predators don't go after girls who have a strong, healthy father around. That's too dangerous. He can get beat down.
Right.
That man can kill him.
Yes.
So he's less likely to want to target a girl who has, notice I keep saying, healthy.
Yes.
healthy,
Yes.
masculine father around. When she does not have that security around her, the predators come in the form of mommy's boyfriend, in the form of the pastor, the teacher, and all that kind of thing. And I don't think we really understand the extent. I think maybe, just throwing it out there, it would be interesting to see a study looking at the girls who've been sexually abused and the family structure.
Interesting.
Controlling, like, okay, if you're from a single parent, you're from a nuclear family, what's going on there? It's very rare. It does happen, but it's rare for a father to sexually abuse his daughter.
Right.
But it's easier for a stepfather to do it. Right? But looking at things like that, girls growing up in single parent homes are more likely to have sex at an earlier age. They're more likely to experience teenage pregnancy, self-esteem issues. And then when you go into adulthood, you end up attracting men who are not emotionally available, who are just not committed to you. And then you don't understand why. It's because you keep attracting your father.
Yes.
So for me, it's like, we can talk for hours. There's so many aspects of life. If we can fix the family, we can eliminate or reduce a lot of the challenges that we now experience in society.
Absolutely.
And so for me, I am advocating, yes, I have my own anecdotal experience, but I also have the scientific data that nuclear traditional families are important. And if you're not part of a nuclear family, you have to, if you have a close extended family, which is becoming rarer each day, because people are moving away from each other, and you don't have the grandmothers and the aunties.
The late youth, the older persons are experiencing the late youth, so they're not around the way they used to be anymore.
Yes. So for me, a lot of the self-esteem issues, a lot of the behavioral issues that our children are experiencing, there is a lack in the home. And I can tell from from the single mother kind of point of view, I remember that I said to myself, I'm not working outside the home. And again, you were talking about, your whole thing about creating your life.
Yes.
I always made a commitment to myself that I'd rather not have a car I rather not have a lot of material things, but I'm working from home. So I've literally created opportunities where I can work from home. So as a researcher, most of the time I am home, coaching parents, I'm doing it from home. Right. And it's so funny because a year ago, around this time, my son said to me, Mommy, we may not have all the material things like what my friends have, but I like that no matter what, when I come home, you're always home.
Wow. Because kids need I grew up with my father, and I was told my mother left when I was 1. So I totally get it, which is one of the reasons I wanted to cover this topic, right? There is something missing when a parent is missing, I believe. And we're not saying that if you're in a single parent family, then your life is not ideal and everything's wrong with you. We understand that circumstances sometimes result in that. But we should be clear that the best for the child's development.
Yes. What I say to parents, yes, I don't want you to feel guilty or ashamed of being a single parent. We all go through things. Some people become single parent because a partner dies. That's completely fine. If what I'm saying, if you cannot create that ideal family for yourself, it's important that you seek help from the opposite sex that is not there so for you're a single mom, you have children, especially you have a son. You now have to say to yourself, which man do I have in my life who is a healthy man who can be an example to my son? So it might be your brother, it might be your uncle, or it might be somebody in the community. You can say to them, when you're carrying your son to cut your hair, can you carry mine too? When you carry him to go watch a game, can you carry him to
consciously engage
because when the thing is with it, it's not like the man is going to come to the boy and say, this is how you're supposed to be a man. But he's going to be observing how that man interacts with his son. Yes. He's going to be observing how that man interacts with women, or especially if he's married and has a wife, how he interacts with his wife. And children, we consciously and unconsciously observe and absorb from our environment, and we don't even notice the benefit of it until we're older. And I'll give an example. When I was living with my grandparents, when my grandfather was home, my grandmother always stayed in the guest bedroom, and she had her knitting things, anything, her books, her puzzles, and she never went into the master bedroom when he was in there. And as a child, I could not get it. I was like, okay, that's kind of weird.
I'm thinking that now.
But let me tell you, now that I'm in a partnership, I see men need their space. Wow. Then, women, when we are stressed out, we need other women, and we talk and we vent and we carry on with each other, and then we feel better. When a man comes in from the world, he needs an opportunity. That's why they say they go into their cave.
Right.
He needs that opportunity to think about, to strategize, to rejuvenate, whatever it is. And then when he's ready, he joins the family. My grandmother knew that. Right. And they were married until he died 2 years ago. And growing up and seeing it, I didn't understand the value of it until I'm in a serious relationship. So that's what I'm saying, where when you don't have the partner with you, you expose your children to individuals or couples or families that have that so they can see it. My grandmother wasn't teaching me anything about how to take care of a man.
Yes.
But I observed that, and it puzzled me as a child. But you know, your male listeners will get it. Like, a man really needs to be by himself sometimes, and he will love that woman who allows him to have his space to just chill, think, and clear his head. Another example was, like, I remember when I was 20 and my grandparents had this nasty argument. I don't even remember the content of it. And at the end of the argument, I heard my grandma, I was fuming because I'm like, why is she allowing him to talk to her like that? But you know, as a kid, you know, even though I was 20, you know, I knew for sure I couldn't get involved in it.
Yes.
And then at the end of the argument, I heard the ironing board pull out. When I opened the door, bedroom door, there's grandma in the passage ironing his clothes. Then she go in the kitchen, she make his breakfast. And she set out that she always set the table very formal, no matter what he's having.
Right.
So the breakfast table, she set up everything and he ate. And when he left, I was like, why the hell did you do all those things? And I was fuming. And I remembered she said to me, no matter what happened in your marriage, you never allow that to come between what you need to do as a wife.
Wow.
No, if I didn't live with my grandparents, how would I have learned that?
How to do that?
I would have probably learned something from TV that I cuss him out and let him starve.
I know. Yes, yes. Based on what the culture.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I keep using the term healthy because some people will say, there are relationships that are not healthy. I'm talking about the healthy ones that can be an example. They're not going to be dictating to your children to say, this is how you're supposed to do, but your children are going to notice certain things and it might seem trivial, but it's not until they get into relationships as adults then they realize,
then learn how to deal. Right.
Then they remember, like,
yes,
maybe that's a good approach.
Let me try that one since I was exposed to it. How do you think that parents can parent their children with this kind of mindfulness so they can have healthy relationships?
Okay. When I'm disciplining my son, what guides me is I keep saying to myself, I am raising someone's husband and I'm raising someone's father.
Wow. I like
now, what I do now will impact how he responds to his wife and how he responds to his children. If I have a difficult relationship with him, if I constantly hurt his masculine pride, and we need to have a conversation about how women hurt masculine pride for boys and men and how it disrupts their relationship and sense of self. But if I continuously destroy his masculine pride, disrespect him, cuss him out, and importantly, beat him, how is he going to respond to his wife? Also, one of the things I keep talking about, I don't provide the safe space in my house to allow him to cry. When he becomes a man...
I usually have that thing about when you beat a child. I remember seeing my mother beat her son, my brother, and then turn around to him and say, what are you crying for? Stop crying, and beat him some more to stop crying. And in my mind, I'm thinking, this is a murder you're creating.
Yes.
You're teaching how to repress.
But not only that, but then these boys become men, and then their wives think, I cannot get through to him. Why is he so cold? He doesn't show any emotions. But he learned that from childhood it was unsafe to show his emotions. So he's not going to show his emotions unless he's been in a relationship with you for a while and you've had the patience and you've proven to him that it's safe for him to be vulnerable. Most men, they love us, you know. I think most women don't get that your man loves you.
Interesting.
But he doesn't feel safe to be vulnerable with you because he was socialized that as a boy who then becomes a man, he must be strong, he mustn't cry, he mustn't express his fears or anything. So you are going through stuff in the relationship and you're saying he's cold, he doesn't even care, he doesn't even love me, when it's far from the truth. He does. Wow. But we have conditioned our boys from a young age that it's unsafe to express themselves emotionally. And this is what I try to share with women, that yes, the world, mothers, yes, the world is a very unsafe place, especially for boys to share their emotions. You have to create a space in your home that allows him to cry. Let him cry and let him know, you know, when you're ready to talk about it, I am here to listen to you. And if you want some advice, I can provide it for you. But when he's in, you know, on the street, in school and whatever, he can't express his emotions. He comes home, he cannot express his emotions. Then what kind of man do you expect him to become?
Yes.
You know, it's a serious thing. So that's why I say to parents, even if you're raising a daughter, so I keep going back to son because I have a son, but I also need to say too with daughters, you're raising somebody's mother and you're raising somebody's wife. Now, the way you treat her, do you want her to treat your grandchildren the same way? Do you want her to cuss and belittle and beat the daylight out of your grandchildren? No. I understand that a lot of us as Jamaicans, Caribbean people, we were only exposed to one form of, you know, discipline, which is to hit. And so I understand that. But if you're open to, you must be open to say, you know what? There must be something else out there that I can learn. And I try to tell parents that building a relationship with your children is the most important thing in this generation. The most important thing. And let me tell you why I say that. When you and I were growing up, we were very much filtered because we didn't have any internet.
Right.
And I'll use the example of pornography. In order for us to be exposed to pornography, we probably have to find some uncle or cousin hidden cassette. Then we probably have to go wait till everybody out of the house to put in the cassette. So there were so many barriers.
So, yes, to get
now you can create the barrier for your kids in your home, but then there might be a kid from another home whose parents are not that vigilant, and this kid just come with a cell phone and say, hey, look on this. And your child is immediately exposed. Now, if you're beating down on your child, threatening your child all the time, your child will not share that with you. And they will hide and they will filter information, and that is very dangerous these days.
Yes.
So it means to build a relationship where your child opens up to you, you need to change your parenting pattern.
What are some of the things that they can do to, I'm sorry to cut you, to inspire that a connection with their child, to have that, because I think connection is missing. Parents are talking and telling you what to do, but
okay, that's what I was about to say. Right. That's what I'm about to say. Listen more, talk and lecture less. Now, I will give you based on the developmental period. So, you know, when children are in early childhood and, you know, a little bit in middle childhood, we're still managing their behavior. We're still telling them what to do, what not to do. As they're exiting middle childhood and entering adolescence, and by the way, the data shows that parent-child conflict increase at the start of adolescence. And there's a reason for that. The child now wants more autonomy. The child now is trying to find their sense of identity, and the parent still wants to manage. And when you manage, what you do, when the child is not doing what you want to do, you push, you become more forceful.
Yes.
And what that child is going to do is rebel. You have to realize that as they move out of middle childhood to adolescent years, you have to shift from being a manager to being a coach, which means you have to stop telling as much and start listening more, and use what I call curious questions. Because when children feel that they're going to be criticized, lectured, or judged, they're not going to open up to you. They're going to be fearful, and you're not safe because they're like, oh, she's going to judge me, she's going to warn me, she's going to threaten me. You know, maybe I should just go Google this and see what Google tell me, or ask my friends.
Yes.
Right? So you have to, I know it's hard for parents, and this is what I train parents in doing, is to ask curious questions. So when they're talking about, say, they're listening to certain music, you, instead of saying, Mina, why you listen to that? What is interesting about that music that you like so much?
Right.
What message do you think that music is sending? Do you think that message is appropriate? How would you feel if you're on the receiving end of that message? Do you see you get children to start talking?
Right.
And sometimes they will problem solve themselves and say, you know what? This thing is not really for me.
Mm-hmm.
But would they have gotten to that point if we had lectured them? And I know a lot of parents are probably triggered and like, but you don't want them to, you don't want to lose control. And again, everything within boundaries. I'm not saying all of a sudden you allow your children to do anything that they want. You have to switch from beating your kids to allowing them to experience logical consequence. And logical consequence meaning what happened relating to that particular behavior. Right. So I'll give you the example. 2 weeks ago, my son, I always say to him, do your homework days in advance because you never know what will happen the night before. He didn't listen to me, had to stay up the whole night to do his homework. Because he was so tired, he forgot his homework. And he called me to say he forgot his homework. I'm like, well, you're going to have to turn back for it. Why can't I bring it? That's not my responsibility. You're supposed to manage your time well enough so that you know that you're supposed to pack certain things. But I'm going to be late and I'm going to be in trouble. I'm like, well, that's the consequence of not planning your time. Mm-hmm. Do you see the logical consequence? We have to start teaching children to, we have to start training ourselves to allow children to experience logical consequences of their actions. Mm-hmm. You don't study, you fail. You reach late, you get detention, you don't go and beg for your child. Your child is disrespectful, gets suspended, they deal with the consequence. You don't go beg for your child. Right. So and in addition, when you're doing that, you're also teaching them, you're giving them the skills to also become responsible human beings. So you're teaching, you see the life skills that are coming out of logical consequences. Now, if they're having a challenge or you're having a challenge with your child, then you have to do brainstorming with your child. Now, what our parents do is usually tell us what to do.
Yes.
And then we either don't do it or we do it halfway just to get them off our back. Now, yes. Children are more likely to do something or buy into something when they have contributed to that decision-making process. Right. So I advocate, I always say to parents, it's amazing that when we work for other people or we have our own businesses, every Monday morning we have management meeting. Everybody knows what the mission of the family, the company is, the goals of the company, all of that. Why don't we do that for our families? Why aren't we that deliberate? So when you have family meeting, I actually have a course on Udemy and family meetings actually. When you have family meetings, you're brainstorming every behavior. I don't have like resistant issues with my son because he will just put it in our agenda. Like, I need to talk about this in the family meeting because I don't agree, right? When you have family meeting, you say as a family, we need to resolve this issue. Younger children, for example, they're not going to bed on time. Maybe you need to create bedtime routine. In creating that bedtime routine, the children are contributing to what they can do just before bed so that they can go to bed on time. They're having sibling rivalry. You have brainstorming sessions, to see how you can resolve the differences, between the siblings or among the siblings and so on. So those are the kind of things. And when you do that kind of democratic approach, you don't have resistant issues. You do not have behavioral issues. I think a lot of parents are afraid that if I give up the punitive strategies, my child is going to go buck wild.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you think there's a control, the need to control?
Yes, because of the fear of, if I don't control, my child is going to go buck wild. But the thing is, you have to see it as being on, both end of the spectrum. So punitive damage is punishment is on one end of the spectrum. Permissiveness, which is allowing your children to do anything they want, be anything they want to be, say anything they want to say, without any form of consequence. Some parents think that if they give up the punitive thing, their children are going to become like that because they have dropped the ball. But if you drop the ball, it means you've now entered permissiveness. I'm not telling parents to be permissive. Instead of going to either end of the spectrum, you're coming into the middle.
Right.
It's the middle that you need to be parenting from. And our world, with all the things our children are exposed to, we really need to work towards going to the middle. Right? Because when you go to the middle, you're having dialogue with your children, you're problem solving with your children. The quality of your relationship with your children will increase, and through that, the thing is, the data have shown, even in my dissertation, it shows like when we create more opportunities to develop closeness, and what I mean by closeness is like you are interacting with each other where there's no hierarchy, right? So discipline is more of a hierarchy thing. You're enjoying each other. So you might be doing project together, you might be cooking together. The funny thing is, the data shows across cultures that when we create more opportunities for those experiences, children are more likely to comply to our requests because they feel a need to reciprocate.
And inclusiveness. They feel included.
Yes, they feel connected.
Right.
They feel connected. They feel a sense of belonging. So if you create more opportunities for them to experience that kind of closeness with us, they're going to be more agreeable. And if they're more agreeable, there's not going to be any need to discipline because guess what? They're going to comply. Right? So it's a whole thing of coaching instead of lecturing, asking curious questions instead of lecturing again. So for example, go brush your teeth. Let me ask you, which one would you be more receptive to? Go brush your teeth and then I say instead, what do you need to do with your little teeth before we go to bed? And you might say, I need to brush my teeth. Okay, so I think you might need to do that now. As a child, which one do you think you'd be more welcome into?
The latter.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So it's what I need to say too is our ways of parenting is we inherited it from slavery. And the challenge is after slavery, our great grandparents were not re-socialized in how to interact. So it's what we're still having is more of a master slave kind of mentality.
Yes.
And it is ruining our children. So the example that Professor Joy DeGruy gave all the time, and we as Jamaicans can relate to it, like, do you notice that as our parents never ever really brag about us in public? Or if somebody says something really nice about us, like, oh, she's so smart, she get all those A's. Yeah, but I have a whole heap of behavior problem with her.
Yeah, always like dark seekers.
Yes.
Yeah.
The thing that we don't realize, it's coming from slavery.
Yes.
Look at it this way. The slave master come and see your daughter in the field, and he's like, whoa, she maturing really nice, man. You as a mother, you're protecting your daughter from possible rape.
Yes.
You're protecting her from possibly being sold. So you're going to say, no, man, she not have no sense.
Right.
She not have no sense. She's an idiot. She dropped everything. Your child is hearing that, but you're doing it to protect your child. Now, after slavery, parents just kept doing it and doing it. Now, during slavery, it was an adaptive behavior because it was necessary to keep your
mode.
Yeah, it was necessary to keep your child, under in your eyesight without being raped or sold. It was so you needed to do that for the family to stay together. It has now become maladaptive because you're no longer in that kind of survival space. And your child is like wondering, so she can't even tell me so she's proud of me?
Right.
Without even talking about how my room dirty. So now that kind of behavior is maladaptive. So I also try to show parents that, we inherited this thing from our fathers, but it was necessary then.
Right, but
to
no
keep
longer.
your kid and prevent your child from being sold.
Right.
Or go through any form of abuse in the slave master's house. But now we don't need to be that way. It's okay to say to a child, you compliment the behavior. So I don't believe in praises, because praises is like, oh, you're a good child, that kind of thing. So the child will not want to do anything that will, quote unquote, be bad.
Right.
What you say instead of saying you're a smart kid. So data also show that, for example, when you say you're so smart, and then you say to another child, you've worked so hard, I'm proud of all the effort you've given. When these two children are given complex tasks to do, the one who is told that he or she is smart will not want to complete the task because it might run the risk that it might be proven that they're not so smart.
Yes.
The one who was encouraged based on their effort is more likely to try. So I say to parents, don't say to your child, oh, you're so smart. Say instead, wow, you've put out a lot of effort. I appreciate that effort. Look at what the effort you've done. Look at the results. And even if your child has failed, I think children now do not want to take the risk even with academic stuff.
Oh goodness.
Because they're afraid of failure.
Oh my goodness.
But we never really truly learn and evolve without failure.
We have to teach them to fail forward.
Yes, so what can you do differently next time? What did you learn about the situation?
Having the conversations.
Yes. So it's, for me, it's, I know parents might be thinking, Lord, that's a lot of things, but it's more of using curious questions instead of demanding stuff, not lecturing your child, not criticizing, not judging your child, but hearing what they have to say. That doesn't mean that you don't communicate your values. You can say, that's very interesting, but you know that in this family we value that people don't swear.
About them. Like
yes, in this family we don't swear to each other, and yeah, it's okay if your friend's family is okay with that, but in this family we don't. Instead of saying, instead of doing it in a demanding way.
Yes.
Having family meetings where you brainstorm. So when you come up with solutions, are they helpful? Are they reasonable? Are they related to the particular problem that they're having? And then you choose the best solution for a problem and you try it out for a week or two. If it doesn't work, then you try another one.
Yes.
And also allowing your children to have logical consequences. The whole thing with our culture and spanking, there's research out there that shows that children who are spanked, they actually mature faster. It is like the body is coming from evolution. It's like the body is saying, this environment is dangerous for me, so I need to quickly develop so I can reproduce before I die.
Oh, wow, really?
Yes.
That is interesting.
And also, when you keep on beating your children and their fight or flight mode is coming from the primitive form of the brain, right? The first form of the brain that developed hundreds of thousands of years ago.
Yes.
Now we need in the amygdala, you needed that. We still need that to protect us, so we know when to fight, when to run away.
Right.
When you have a child in a home that is constantly in a fight or flight mode, right? The cortisol level in that child is so heightened. They are constantly stressed. And there are so many negative effects on that as it relates to their cognitive abilities, their ability to self-regulate their emotions, their behavior, and all of that. And then you go into the whole punishment too, where the curiosity, the standing up for yourself, you don't want to do that because it's not safe. Then you have these children become adults and then they comply so easily because they were conditioned by their parents to really comply. Yes. And a lot of people say, but I got beaten and nothing wrong with me. And I'm like, really?
Nothing you can touch that's tangible to you, but it's
right. But how
manifesting in your relationships?
Yes, exactly. How are you showing up in your relationships, whether it's with your boss, your spouse, or your friends? Can you truly be authentic? Mm-hmm. For example, a lot of people lie a lot in their relationships. They lie a lot. And when I counsel women on that, they grew up learning that it wasn't safe to be authentic.
Yes.
It wasn't safe to be truthful because they would get their butts whipped for just being their authentic self. So they have learned that it was safer to lie and be manipulative, and then they bring that into adulthood.
Absolutely true. That is so
okay.
True.
And then you go back now to the whole spanking thing. My son said something to me that was so important, and I heard a man, a friend who worked with prisoners said something related to it. But my son said to me, "Mommy, you know that if you were the kind of mommy to hit me, I think I would grow up to hate woman.
He said that to you at what
He's-
age?
He was like 11. It was last year, I think.
Wow.
And it got me thinking, like, how many men just have this deep-seated anger towards women and they don't even know where it's coming from?
Yes.
And I remember maybe 2 years ago, a friend of mine, Kevin Wallen, he works in the prisons in Jamaica. And he said that all the men that are, that he interacted with, he mentored in the prison, who were on life basically,
Yes.
they all had mothers who physically abused them. And I'm not going to make fathers scapegoats here, listeners. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there are certain long-term effects that how we discipline our children, they become angrier people. They're more likely to become delinquents. They're more likely to experiment with drugs. And then you have all the other relational issues. Yes, mothers, the reason why, let me tell you why mothers spanked their children in slavery. It's coming from that. If the overseer or the slave master spanked your child, they could or beat your child, they could possibly kill him or her. So a lot of times the mothers would volunteer because they will still hit their kid hard, but they will not hit their children to the point that there are any long-term damages or possible death. No, that wasn't necessary because you're trying to save your child's life. And after you beat your child, you will go and dress the wound and tell them it's okay. And breathe a sigh of relief that, thank God, the overseer didn't beat my child, because that could have meant possibly death or some broken limbs or something. That wasn't necessary then. Mothers, it's not necessary now. It's not.
Do you think how can parenting evolve in the Black community? Who needs to do what for that?
I think it's a whole re-socialization with the parents. And for me, instead of just telling them that they need to change, the things that I explained to you also need to be explained to them. That it was done by our forefathers.
So they can understand where it's coming from.
Yes. And then to also explain to them that, I saw some literature when I was doing my qualifying exams for my PhD, that actually before colonizers arrived in Africa, children were not hit. They were not. They were considered closest to God because they were so pure. And so they were so cherished that you didn't want to harm them in any way. So discipline was, from a place of love, and it's not beating and shouting and saying, I hit you because I love you. That part came from slavery. So it's not as if I try to let Black parents know that you're not conditioned forever to hit your children. Before colonizers show up, our ancestors did not do that.
Yeah. Do you think today's parents, I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
No. I was just saying that is to understand the background of that, and then to explain to them what's happening in the brain, what's happening in the body when there's high level of stress, what happens in the relationship that you have with your children, and the kind of relationship that they will have as adults.
Right.
And it's just not worth it.
No.
So for me, change is not shaming parents and telling them they're evil and telling them they're this and that, but it's educating them to say, you know what? You did the best you could with the information and the knowledge you had.
Yes. Yes.
Now it's time to learn something new.
Because you have the opportunity.
It's going to be scary. There are certain times you're going to take 10 steps backwards when you only take 2 steps forward, and that's okay.
Yes.
But you're learning a new skill that will change the trajectory of your lineage, because if you change the way you interact with your children, that will influence how they interact with their children, and so on and so on. So for me, cussing them and telling you you're evil and you're wicked and all of that, Rudolf Dreikos, he's following the Adlerian psychology, and he said he doesn't understand why we think that it is effective to make children feel bad for them to do good. Where's the logic? So hold on.
Yes,
So that's the same thing I'm saying regarding with parents. Where do we think we need to make them feel horrible for being horrible parents and expecting them to change?
Positive.
Right.
And I think if we really stop, even the parents were doing it, if they just stop for a second and think about it, it really doesn't add up.
Yeah, but that's also hard. I can understand that's also hard.
Yeah.
We have not been trained to be reflective a lot as a people. Like, how is my behavior affecting me? How is my behavior affecting my children?
That's
most of our behaviors on autopilot.
Yes, and it happened and it's past and we'll move on.
But the thing is, we function mostly from the subconscious.
Yes.
That's what people don't realize.
Exactly.
So you have to be gentle in changing the subconscious in the parent than changing to the child. So for me, it is possible to change, but it's explaining to parents why certain things were necessary, why they aren't now, and what they can benefit, from as it relates to the relationship that they have with their children when they go with an approach that honors a child's agency, that honors a child's autonomy, but at the same time, that child is still navigating within boundaries and you're not losing control.
Yes. My final question for you is, how do parents consciously parent their children in a way that their ultimate goal is to ensure that that child experiences happiness and lives a meaningful life?
You have to parent in a way that you teach your child to be capable. And that means that you don't save your children. I think modern, especially the younger parents, we don't want our children to feel pain, disappointment, rejection, sadness, all of that. Then they become adults who cannot function in the adult world. It's okay for your children to experience rejection and pain and all of that, especially from friends. The important thing is the support that you provide for them.
Yes.
I know it sucks. You can go back. I remember a time when I was, I lost my best friend because I said something about her that I shouldn't have said. And I was so sorry. I know where you're coming from. And, saying that to your children and saying, this is some of the things you can do to help you to shift from that kind of negative feeling. Also, in making them feel capable is allowing them to experience the consequences of their actions. So I've always said to my son, listen, you can do anything you want to do, You have free will. But you need to ask yourself, can I live with the consequence of my actions because my mama will not be saving me?
Exactly.
So when you allow, the thing with spanking, you're beating a child and telling a child not to do certain things. But a lot of times we miss the thing, like, you're supposed to do this instead. When a child, yeah, but when you allow a child to experience the logical consequence of their actions, they then get to a point where they start thinking before they act.
Yes.
They start like, you know what, I don't think that's worth the trouble.
Right.
So it's teaching them to be capable human beings.
Right, and
That
informing them of their options. So you're not just telling them what not to do, but also tell them what could they have, what are the possible options, what are the other things you could have done. Yeah, that's it. Yes.
And to build more healthy human beings who will become adult human beings, especially our boys' mothers. Again, let me go back to the research. Boys, as they get older, they experience less affection and they experience less love. Yes, because parents, like, they don't hug them up that much anymore.
Really? So what about the mama's boy thing? The whole
No.
That's different.
Mama's boy is when you go and save your son and you don't allow him to be responsible.
Okay, so it's
That's
not necessarily give. Wow, that's
it's not necessarily the affection. It's just doing everything. And when you do, and the thing, parents, that you need to realize, when you do everything for your children, you're telling them, I don't trust that you're capable enough to do it on your own. That is what that's what you're communicating with your child. And I don't trust that you can figure this out on your own. So I am going to do it for you.
Right. So instead of self-reliance, you rely on me.
Yes. And then they go into adulthood and not knowing how to cope on their own, not knowing how to problem solve on their own, not knowing how to regulate their emotions, because you have rescued them from everything. You did not allow them and to be capable. And when children feel capable, their self-esteem go up, and just the whole they value themselves go up. Because, like, yeah, I can do this thing. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I'm good. Yes. But when they don't, the thing is, you develop confidence not from a place of comfort.
Right.
But from a place, your confidence comes from overcoming discomfort. So that, like, living in Germany now, the example I give with my son, when I just moved here, I was like, oh my God, I think I made the worst mistake, because he wasn't adjusting well. He didn't have much friends because of the language. Right. And then eventually he just got it. And he said to me, if I can learn German, I think I can overcome anything.
Oh goodness. Wow.
And a lot of parents would be like, this is so difficult. I think we made a mistake. Let's leave.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying, that you have to allow your children to develop that sense of being capable. And to build healthy children who will become healthy adults, as all human beings, they need to have a sense of belonging and they need to have a sense of connection. Now, I will say a misbehaving child is a discouraged child. It doesn't mean you're picnic bad. Let me repeat. A misbehaving child is a discouraged child. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that behavior. They have a goal to connect with you in some way, but it's coming across in a negative way. So, for example, power struggles. The child is trying to connect with you with power struggles by back-talking, And the reason they're back-talking is, like, in the child's mind, I only feel a sense of being mattered when I exercise my power. I only feel heard when I exercise my power. I only get my views and perspective accepted when I exercise my power. That's coming from a place of discouragement.
Wow.
So we have to make the shift and understand when your child is misbehaving. I have a whole course. I think I'm going to do an online course so people in Jamaica and everywhere can get access to it. But when your child is misbehaving, they have a particular goal. And once you figure out that goal, you know how to respond. Yes. So like when a child is back talking, that mistaken goal is, a power struggle, because I'm only heard or I'm only accepted when I show my might. You can simply say, you know what? I can't force you to do anything. I realize you're human, you're an independent human being. I can't force you to do anything, but you know what? I would really appreciate your help right now in moving this furniture. It would help me a lot. Mm-hmm. Which child wouldn't want to do it, even a teenager?
Right.
So it's realizing that to build capable human beings who are going to be adults, children always want to feel a sense of belonging and connection. Mm-hmm. Children need to feel capable. If you can do those things within a loving relationship, you will end up having human beings who are more empathetic to people, to others, who are more accepting of others, whether it's their views and perspective and so on, who have a higher level of self-esteem, and most importantly, have a better relationship with you. Wow. But it takes that shift. Mm-hmm. So it's like, what I say to parents is that you are literally going through a re-socialization process.
Right.
And sometimes you're going to feel like, I fail. This sucks. I don't think I'm getting through to my kid. And another time you're going to be like, yeah, this feels good. But don't expect it's going to be a quick fix. You've been socialized all your life to function in a particular way. And making the switch to more of a democratic approach is going to now become a lifelong journey. There's sometimes you're going to take 3 steps forward, 5 steps backward, but that's okay. But just have empathy for yourself. Yes. And remind yourself, parents, if it's a boy, I'm raising somebody's husband and I'm raising somebody's father. If it's a girl, I'm raising somebody's wife and mother.
I love that concept.
Yeah, if you can remember that, mm-hmm. you will stop yourself from doing and saying certain things to your children, because you will think, boy, I really don't want my children to be like that with my grandchildren. That's
right.
Kind of suck.
Yes.
So you become more self-aware. Yeah.
Wow. I'm going to have you back. This was it was such an enlightening conversation, and it's so uplifting to hear mm-hmm. it, and I know that the Black community needs to hear it. And I'm not saying that the white community doesn't. It's just that because of our history and the mm-hmm. things that we adopted or learned as we were growing up, there hasn't been we need a paradigm shift of sorts. And I think coaching, and before we go, I would really love for you to share your details, where your courses can be, where they can access your courses, and how mm-hmm. they can access your services.
Okay. So because I'm in Germany, everything is online. So it's, my website is, my name, which is TanishaBurke.com. So it's, Tanisha can spell several different ways. So it's TANIESHABURKE.com. I have a course on family meetings that's on Udemy right now. So UDEMY.com. You put my name in there, you'll see it. Actually, Udemy is having
I'll share all the links with the video.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. Udemy now has a Black Friday sale. And I also have, we would have to have a different interview on this though, but I have a course on marriage, relationship success that's on Udemy. Again, so, you know, I would highly recommend that course for women who especially were raised in single parent homes where you did not get to learn about understanding men.
Yes. I studied relationship. As a matter of fact, what I did when I was in university, I took a course. It was called Growing the Developing Child, to help me overcome or understand why my mother wasn't there.
Yeah.
And when I did that course, I thought to myself, every student, this should be mandatory, like math and for everybody to understand.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I have that course on Udemy, and then everything else is on the website, tanishaburke.com. Here in Germany, I am doing in-person parenting workshops.
Yes.
But if there is a demand for it to be done online with persons in the Caribbean and North America, I'm also open to that.
Awesome.
Yes, but once you go to my website, parents, you don't have to do, if you want to do one-on-one coaching, I also provide that. So for a lot of families, they are like, let's have a coaching with you, 5 sessions, and I will go through the same steps, like problem solutions.
Right, and they can learn the techniques and the skills.
Yes.
So you're better able to customize it for the unique family, because it's not a one size fit all.
Yes.
Right.
So I also provide family coaching, and at the moment it's at the end of the year, but I'm not doing it now. But next year I'll start it again, where I have group parenting. So a lot of families can't afford the one-on-one coaching, but I have a group parenting coaching, so that I have 10 families, 10 parents. They go through the different workbooks for 6 weeks, or say for 90 days, and once a week we meet on Zoom, for example, for an hour or 2, and this is where parents are supporting each other. Everybody has a challenge, and other parents are helping this parents to problem solve and get them to come up with a solution for their family.
Yes.
That's also available, and again, we'll restart in January.
Thank you so much, Dr. T, for joining me on Finding Happy podcast, and for having the conversation with me about the parent-child relationship and how parenting influences a child's capacity and capability to have healthy relationships. It was such an absolute pleasure having you on the program, and my hope is that whoever hears this podcast will be empowered by the information that was shared. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Stick around. We get back to you next Thursday with a brand new episode. We're going to be continuing our conversations on relationships. We're going to be talking to some single people to hear their thoughts and their ideas, and just get some insight into where they're at and what their desires are. It's been a pleasure talking with you. Have a great, fantastic, amazing day. Thank you.
I am purpose driven. It's not personal, it's purpose. When you see me, there's deeper than what meets the eyes. There is a soul, a spirit, a divine purpose. being. Join me Thursdays at 10 a.m. Finding Happy on UME Radio. Thursdays at 10 a.m.